What's going on, lineage? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Greetings, greetings, greetings. This is your brother Chief Kalanago. Wagwan. Let's make sure we got some audio on Facebook. We're about to dive in. Yeah. All right, cool. We good on Facebook. We good on Facebook. Now check this out, right? I know it's a little late. It's almost 1 o'clock, but I'm kind of feeling a little mellow right now. So I'm about to dive in. You feel me? Because like I said, man, I'm gonna put all the believers. I'm gonna force y'all to open up your eyes to see this book and question your pastors and your ministers and your reverends and your bishops and your imams. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go into this book and I'm gonna dissect this Bible and I'm gonna expose all the corruption, all the fallacy, all the misinformation. Okay, I'm gonna expose all of it. So what we're gonna do right now is, and like I said, I know everybody's always making excuses. Like I put a post on Facebook. A brother said, "Hey, you know what? You know, the words in the Bible, you know, it was referring to the people back then, and some things are not supposed to be taken literal today." So I'm like, hold up. I thought in the Bible it said that God word is never is forever unchanging. So does not mean it applies to us as well. You see, people are always making excuses for all the stuff in that Bible. But you see, I'm not giving that Bible no chance at all. I'm going to, don't get me wrong. There are some things in the Bible that you could use to live a positive life. All right. So it's a matter of getting the message. All right. That's what I want people to get the message, not to worship that image in the Bible because they don't know what that image is. You feel me? And I'm going to be exposing that. So one of the first things, one of the misconceptions, and that I'm right now I'm coming to you all Israelites and y'all Hebrews. Like I said, everybody's gonna get that work. Okay. A lot of Israelites and Hebrews, they're always putting, the perception or giving or always insinuating that Esau or the Edomites, they are pale people, so-called white people. Well, guess what? I'm gonna prove you wrong. Okay? I'm going to prove you wrong because, like I said, I am tired of the lies and the misinformation. I'm going to expose it all. I'm going to repeat myself. You Hebrews and y'all Israelites, you see, y'all don't even know your Bible the way you think you do. That's the problem. All of y'all are brainwashed. I don't care. I don't care what you call yourself. All right. You guys are always, because of the hate that you have. I don't know if it's hate, whatever it is, but anyway, you keep saying that. Um, Oh, no doubt. No name. They always have an excuse to validate the BS. You feel me? So this is what I'm going to do in this video. You Israelites and you Hebrews, you always accusing Esau or the Edomites to be white, so-called white people or pale people. Well, guess what? I'm going to prove you wrong. So let's dive into that real quick because what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the strong concordance, all right, for the Bible. Because you see, the problem is a lot of these people, as believers, they sit and they allow somebody to read the Bible to them. And I know a lot of Hebrews and Israelites, they do a lot of research and they dive into the Bible and they use the strong concordance. But you see, they do things that other people are doing. Okay. They always use things when it's convenient for them, but they tend to skip the other parts. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I tell people, yes, the Bible have some encouraging poetry in there, and that's cool. There's nothing wrong with the encouraging poetry. Anything that could help you live a better life, I'm cool with that. Okay, it could be anything. You know what I mean? So it has some good poetry in there. That's fine. But when it comes towards the so-called deities and the hate and the love and all that stuff, then we have to start dissecting that. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna go into the strong concordance. And the first thing we're gonna look at the word Edom. All right, Edom. And let's really see if Edom or Edomites are pale or white people. Okay, because I'm gonna shut y'all down so good. You don't even know what's coming to you right now. This is what I'm gonna do. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen and I'm gonna share. Okay, so now this is like the blue letter Bible, right? Where you're able to put in, words or names or anything, pretty much almost anything in the Bible, and it will give you either the Hebrew or the Aramaic, you know, um, meaning or the word for that in Hebrew or Aramaic. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to put in Edom. All right, let's put in Edom. Let's see what it is. Here we go. All right, I think you guys could see that. So it might be a little small. Let me see if I can make it just a little tad bigger. All right, here we go. Edom, right? So we have Edom. I put that in. And then we have, let me see, 9, I think. Okay, we're in the lexicon, right? So let's get in here now. So we have Edom, we have Edomites. So let's look at Edom, what Edom means. Let's pay attention to what Edom means. Edom, root word. So it gives you the Hebrew word, okay, and it gives you the translation of what it means. So Edom means what? Edom means red. Now, my brothers and sisters, pay attention to that, right? Edom means red. Edomite, Edomian, a descendant of Esau, land of Edom. Okay, so the land of Edom, we're talking about the land of south east of Palestine, right? So we know for a fact that the Hebrew word for Edom, the pronunciation is Edom, okay, and they're giving the Hebrew word right there, right? Okay, the Strong's is Udemia, however you pronounce that. But anyway, bottom line is this: Edom means red. Edom does not mean white. Edom does not mean pale. It means red. Okay. Now, for you Hebrew Israelites, if you insist that Edom means white or pale, all right, let us go. So we saw Edom means red. Okay. So if you insist, like I said, if you insist that Edom means pale people or white people, let's go look at Adam. I tell y'all keep playing with the wrong one. Let's look at Adam. Let's see what Adam means. Adam. Here we go. Adam. So we have Adam. We have the Hebrew pronunciation. Okay. And the Strong's definition for Adam, what does it say? Red. So if you say Edom is red and Adam is red, so therefore Adam and Eve were white people or pale people. Y'all cannot get away from all this fairy tales that y'all telling people. People like me, I study. You did? I study. That's the problem you guys are having right now because I'm exposing all of these lies. You going around with so much hate in your heart for for the albino people. Okay. I'm gonna break up all the misconceptions and the lies. I'm gonna poke holes in all your stories because they are nothing but Santa Claus stories. Okay. Easter bunny laying eggs. That's all it is. All right. So you tell me, if Esau means red and Adam means red, and you keep insisting that Esau is white, then how come Adam is not white? I want somebody to explain that to me because I know we have a lot of Bible scholars out there that like to choose and pick exactly what things mean. You see, that's why I'm going into the Bible lexicon. I'm using the Strongs. I'm giving it to you right where it says it here. Okay. All right. The KJV translation count. Okay. See where it is? You have pronunciation, transliteration. All right. You have the Hebrew. Okay. I'm going right into the Strong's lexicon. I'm going into the gusto, the gut. the information and exposing all of that. All right, here we go again. As you could see, once again, it also said Palestine, Palestine. So if Esau is Palestine, Adam is Palestine, how come y'all Negroes say y'all from Africa? You see, I keep telling y'all, man, don't play with me. Don't play with me, man. I'm gonna put so much doubt in that fairy tale. I'm gonna force people to start asking questions to their pastors and their ministers. Let it make sense. Let it make sense. Come up with another explanation. I'm gonna repeat that. Esau is from Palestine. Adam, okay, Adam, that name Adam, Esau, Red, all of them from Palestine. How come y'all Negroes saying y'all from Africa? If y'all are the first people, because Adam is supposedly the first man, right? But we see Red, we see Palestine, and where we know Palestine is in Asia. Okay, all right then. So if you ask me, it seems like the Moors are telling more the truth because they say that the original black man is Asiatic. But the problem is I'm not black, I'm not Asiatic. So therefore, it had to be two different creations. But you know what, Chief? Let's proceed. So we looked at Adam, we looked at Edom. Now we're going to look at Esau. Okay, Esau, because Esau is pretty much the brother of Jacob, right? So let's look at that and see what Esau is. Esau. Let's rock here for a second. So we have Esau. That's Esau or whatever the name is. But anyway, Esau. What does it come down to? All Esau means is hairy. Okay? Esau means hairy. The eldest son of Jacob, of Isaac and Rebekah. So Esau means hairy. Okay? And the people who came from Esau, supposedly the Edomites, right? They are red people. So red, hairy people, right? Now, if Adam means red, so Adam is what? The hairyless red one? Because like I said, y'all cannot tell me that Esau is white or Esau is pale, but yet still Adam is a black man because it says red. Okay? So, like I said, we are going to clear all this foolishness. Okay? So now we have Esau, we have Adam. We know that they both means red. Now let us look at Esau's brother, Jacob. Let us dive into, the spiritual crime that Jacob committed, he and his mother Rebecca. Okay, let us dive into that here for a second, and let's see what Jacob means. Like I already got into it, but seems like YouTube, Facebook trying to knock me off. Let me get back on those bastards. All right, so here we go. Okay, so let us go now. Jacob. Jacob means what? Yakub. Okay, that's how Jacob is pronounced. Yakub. Yakub. Okay, so if you know the story, Yakub, supposedly the biggest scientist, he was the one who created the pale people, the albinos, right? Okay, but yet still the translation pronunciation of Jacob is Yakub. Yakub. Okay, all right. What does it mean? What does Yakub means, Jacob? It means heel catcher or supplanter, right? It was the second son of Isaac. Okay? Yakub. Yakub. The progenitor of whom? The Israelites. Okay? So he's only the progenitor of the Israelites. All right? And this is the people that this Lord God in the Bible decided to make his own people. Okay? But let's see how this Israelite came about. Because like I said, I showed you the deception from the very beginning. First off, Abraham was a liar. Second, his wife Sarah was a liar. Okay. Then his son Isaac was a liar. Then his wife did the same thing. Rebecca, she was a liar. Not just a liar, but she was a thief. Okay. A liar and a thief. Well, Chief, she was filled with deception. Well, Chief, how can you prove that? Well, let's prove it. Let's see what Jacob really means. Jacob means what? Supplanter. All right, beautiful. Let us go look at the definition of supplanter here for a second. Let's stop sharing. Supplanter. Boom. Okay. Let us go look at supplanter. Supplanter. First thing we're going to look at the meaning. We're going to look at the definition. Then we're going to look at the etymology, because I want to give y'all the benefit of the doubt, because I don't want y'all to think I'm biased. All right. Let us go look at what Jacob means. It means supplanter. So who is a supplanter, or what's a supplanter? Here we go. Okay. Transitive verb. Supplanter, number one, to take the place of another as through force, scheming, strategy, or the like. Okay? To replace something by something else. But this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back here for a second. Well, you know what? So we saw what supplanter means. To take the place of another as through force, by scheming or strategy. So therefore, Jacob took his brother's place by what? Through force and by scheming and by strategy. All right. Let us get back here for a second. And let us just kind of like scroll down just a little further into the Bible, King James lexicon. Okay. And let us look at a couple of words here. This is for, let me see, I know I have it somewhere. Jacob. Give me 1 second. It says Jacob. Supplanter was the second. Okay. All right. It says Jacob, origin, the progenitor of the Israelites. Okay. He'll catch the supplanter. Second son, equivalent, Jacob, husband. Okay, so we got that. Times. Okay. Now this is what we're going to do now. We're going to look at the etymology of the word. All right. Etymology of the word. Etymology of the word. So we saw the meaning. Taking another's place by strategy, deception, and forcefully. All right. Let us share my screen again. We're going to look at the etymology of supplanter. What does it say here? I'll wait for it to populate. Okay. What does it say? Supplanter also means insidious. Okay. Supplanter also means insidious. Well, how do we know? I'm going to pull that up for you right now. We're going to pull it up right now. I want you to see it first. Okay. Supplanter also means insidious. Okay. That's what supplanter also means, insidious. Insidious. So insidious means what? Cunning, deceitful, treacherous, to plot, to snare, to ambush. Okay? That's what it means. Usually with what? Suggestion of lying. Okay? In wait and intent to what? To entrap. Well, Chief, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? You trying to tell me that Jacob, the way he got his inheritance, which was the father of the Israelites, it was through lying. It was what? To entrap. It was treacherous. It was cunning. It was deceitful. Yes, it was. And that's what I'm saying. I'm actually implying and I'm saying that it was. Okay? It was. Well, Chief, can you prove it? Absolutely. Yes, I can. All right. Let us go look at, let me see. Give me 1 second here. I'm going to prove it to you. I'm gonna show it to you right now. I've given it to you before, but to you again. Genesis 25, right? All right. Genesis chapter 25. We're gonna go over it again. So now you will see that all these words, what they mean. Okay? Because you'll see the same thing over and over again, meaning that you'll see that you know what supplanter means. Okay? You'll see what supplanter means. Give me a second. All right, cool. What we're going to do is we're going to read from, what's that? Genesis chapter 5. And we are going to go down to verse 9. Let us read. And then now you will see what supplanter means, because I gave you the meaning and I gave you the etymology of supplanter. It means insidious. Okay, it also means assail. All right, let us go ahead and read that. Okay, let us read that again. And I'm going to show you the scheme, like I said. Okay, Jacob and Esau. This is the account of the family line of Abraham's son Isaac. Abraham became a father of Isaac, and Isaac was 40 years old when he married Rebekah, daughter of Bethuel the Aramean, from Paddan Aram, and sister of Laban the Aramean. 21. Isaac prayed to the Lord on behalf of his wife because she was childless. The Lord answered his prayers, or his prayer rather, and his wife Rebekah became pregnant. The babies jostled each other within her, and she said, "Why is this happening to me?" So she went to inquire of the Lord. Okay, here's another thing I want to ask y'all Christians. How is that the people back in the days, they were able to go talk to the Lord whenever they want to? They inquire, the Lord show up, they sit down, they have breakfast, they talk. How come they were able to do it, but y'all pray so much? In fact, I never heard one person in the Bible speak in tongues, but y'all speak in tongues, but yet still the Lord doesn't show up for y'all. Why is that? The woman couldn't have a baby. She went to the Lord made her have a baby. Half of y'all struggling can't even pay your rent, and your Lord will not pay your rent for you. You end up homeless. So obviously you're not doing something right. You're not doing something right, or you must be serving the wrong Lord, because this one is working for them. Yours ain't working for you. But anyway, just an observation. Let's proceed. 23. And the Lord said to her, because they talking, that's a conversation. Okay. Two nations are in your womb, and two people from within you will be separated. One people will be stronger than the other, and the older will serve the younger. Okay, so right there, that Lord is already establishing slavery and servitude and separation and not togetherness, although they're actually in one womb. All right, so that's what he's already planning. Okay, 24. When the time came for her to give birth, there were twin boys in her womb. The first, the first to come out was red. As we already read, Esau meant red, right? And his whole body was like hairy garment. So we saw that Esau meant red. Esau also meant hairy, right? But y'all Hebrew Israelites assume that red is white and red is pale. That's why I have to go show you in your own Bible lexicon that Adam also means red. So therefore, if Esau means red and Esau is white, therefore Adam was white. So explain to me how y'all Negroes came about. Because the recessive cannot give birth or cannot create the dominant. So somebody got some explaining to do, Lucy. Okay? You see, I'm a man of wisdom. I think with my mind. And I don't just limit myself to what people tell me. Let's break it down. Let's explain it. All right. So they named him Esau. And I showed y'all exactly what Esau meant in the Bible lexicon, right? The Strongs. Okay. Now, to verse 26. After this, his brother came out with his hand grasping Esau's heel. In other words, Esau came out first. And what he was doing was he grabbed onto his brother's heel. All right. So he was named Jacob. Jacob means what? A supplanter. I showed you what supplanter meant. Taking something over or someone else's over, all right, by fraud, deception, cunningly. Okay. Now, Isaac was 60 years old when Rebekah gave birth to them. 27. The boys grew up, and Esau became a skillful hunter, a man of the open country, while Jacob was content to stay at home among the tents. Okay? But yet still, guess what? Esau was skillful, a hunter, a man of the country, meaning that, so I'm assuming he was the man of the land, right? Jacob stayed home among the tents. Isaac, who had a taste of the wild game, loved Esau, but Rebekah loved Jacob. So look at the comparison in the boys again. Esau loved the country. He's a hunter. That means he was able to provide, right? Jacob was just sitting at home, chilling on the tent. So right there, I could tell he's a bum. Okay. Isaac, who had a taste for the wild, loved Esau. All right. But Rebekah loved Jacob. Now, Isaac was of his father, Abraham. Okay. But yet still, he loved his son Esau more. But the mother loved the one Rebecca loved Jacob. Now remember, this is a patriarchal society. All right. So therefore, the firstborn in their culture was supposed to get the inheritance, which is Esau, and his father loved him. It was not a matriarchal society. Okay. So therefore, once again, Esau was the favorite. Okay. 29. Once, once when Jacob was cooking some stew, Esau came, and he came in from the country, famished. Now, I'm not sure if you know what famished means, but famished actually means hungry, starving. Okay, that's what famished means. Now, I've already gone through this with y'all, but this is a whole different video. So, it's from another perspective. I'm just giving you more. Okay, so famished means hungry. Okay, so he was hungry. Okay, that's what it means. No, that's the etymology, but let me also see if I can find the meaning of famished. Right? Same thing. Famished, hungry, starving. Okay, so he was starving. Okay, so his brother was starving, and he said to Jacob, "Quick, let me have some of your red stew. I am starving or famished." That is why he was also called Edom. Okay. Jacob replied, "First, sell me your birthright." Now, let me ask you a question. If you are a man of God, right, and you are supposed to be your brother's keeper, and your brother is starving, I mean, even me, I do so much for my sisters, all right? You think I would tell my sister, sell me her house, if that was her house? Sell me your house just so I could make you eat? But yet still, those people were actually talking to God. God was coming down talking to them. And your brother is starving, right? And your father loved him. Why would you even tell the man, sell me your birthright first so I could feed you, brother? Obviously, you knew that your father was giving him, because in the culture, you knew your father was giving him the birthright, the inheritance. Why would you take it from him? Hmm? Why would you do that? First, sell me your birthright. Hmm? Anyway, 32. Look, I'm about to die, Esau said. What good is the birthright to me? I don't know why he was going to die. Obviously, he was a skilled hunter. So why would he be dying? Hmm? You see, this Bible have some explaining to do. The man was a skilled hunter out in the lands, a young man, vigorous. Yet still, Jacob was the one at home just chilling. Could probably even barely do a push-up. You see what I'm saying? But yet still, he's dying. How? From what? From what? And his father was a righteous man supposedly because he was the son of Abraham, and then Abraham and Isaac loved Esau more. So obviously, he was more of his father if his father loved him more, and Jacob was of his mother because his mother loved him more. So why was he dying? Hmm? Is it because he was hungry and he was starving and you didn't want to feed your brother? So he feared he was going to die? Hmm? Because obviously he had children. That's why they became Edomites. So apparently he didn't die. So therefore, by conductive reasoning, the only reason why he was going to die or he thought he would die is because he was starving to death and his brother refused him food unless he sold his birthright. Hmm? Number 33, right? But Jacob said, swear to me first. He swore. So check this out, right? The man said, okay, I'm dying because you don't want to feed me, right? Boom, you could have it. You could have my birthright. Now, this Jacob here talking about swear to me first. That means he didn't trust his brother. Now, you see how conniving this little bastard is? But that is the root of y'all father, okay? A conniving little evil bastard. Yes, I said it because I'm tired of y'all making excuses for this nonsense, okay? He said, swear to me first. So he swore an oath to him, selling his birthright. He didn't sell his birthright, okay? He didn't sell his birthright. The man was hungry, he was dying. He didn't have a choice, okay? So he rather give his brother the birthright because of deception, okay? And he took his birthright, right? Then, check this out though, it gets better. Then Jacob gave Esau some bread and some lentils too. He ate and drank and then got up and left. So Esau despised his birthright. How could Esau despise his birthright? If this was in its proper context, it should have said Esau despised his brother, not his birthright. It was already his, that his father was giving him. Okay, so apparently, obviously, he wasn't going to die because he was sick. Okay, because after he ate the soup, he got up and left. So therefore, he wasn't dying at all. He was only dying because he was starving and because his brother um, refused him food. So he was basically dying from hunger, starvation. But yet still, this is the loving Jacob y'all Israelites came from, the one that God chose to give the blessing, and the one through all the blessings of the earth will come through. It started with a deception. I don't want it. Let us go to the next verse. Y'all could keep it. Okay. Let's go to the next verse, the next chapter rather. All right. 26. Now there was a famine in the land besides the previous famine in Abraham's time. And Isaac went to Abimelech, king of the Philistines in Gera or Gera. Number two, verse 2. The Lord appeared to Isaac and said, do not go down into Egypt. Leave the land where I tell you to live. So once again, as you could see, the Lord just popping up on people, talking to people, having regular conversations, right? Once again, with all you Christians and all you believers, how come the Lord is not showing up and talking to y'all? Y'all going through COVID, y'all going through diabetes, y'all going through high blood pressure, y'all broke, you cannot pay your rent. The pastor, he has a nice house, he has beautiful cars, your children can go to college, you cannot afford to buy, you know, healthy food, so you have to eat fast foods, but yet still your Lord is not showing up. Hmm? He's not showing up. Why is that? But he shows up in this book to tell people where to go kill people, how many women to rape, how many children to kill, how many young boys to kill. How is that? But once again, I'm the one with the problem, right? Let us read some more. Verse 3. This is the Lord talking. Stay in the land for a while, and I will be with you, and I will bless you. For to you, your descendants, I will give all these lands, and I will confirm the oath I swear to your father Abraham. Right? So he's promising to Isaac that he'll give all the land, right? But it did not go through Esau, though. It went through Jacob because Jacob stole the thief. He stole his brother, okay, the supplanter, all right, through deception, stole his brother's birthright. Now, mind you, the Lord swore an oath to Abraham, where Abraham again is a liar. Why is he a liar? Because when he went to Egypt, right, he lied and said that Sarah was his sister. And the Lord, what the Lord did, instead of the Lord um telling Pharaoh, hey, you know what, Pharaoh, that's really his sister. Okay, so I'm gonna let it slide. Okay. The same thing he did with the other king, right? He didn't do that. He killed Pharaoh's firstborn and everybody's firstborn in Israel. I mean, in Egypt. Even people who were not Egyptians because they had slaves, they had servants. Everybody's firstborn died just because Abraham lied and Sarah lied and said that that's her brother. And the Lord knew this because he's omnipotent, omnipresent. He's supposed to know everything because he come down whenever he want to. So why didn't he punish Abraham and Sarah for lying to Pharaoh and letting Pharaoh lost after his wife? He didn't do that. No. He let Abraham slide with the lie. He let Sarah slide with the lie. But then Pharaoh didn't do anything. I'm certainly sure Pharaoh was a righteous man because he didn't know. And how do I know Pharaoh was righteous? Because when he found out, he said, yo, bro, why you ain't tell me, bro? Why didn't you tell me, man? Now you got your Lord trying to curse me out and killing my firstborn. And Pharaoh was even so kind. Pharaoh gave them some mules and horses and, well, donkeys and cows, whatever. The bottom line is Pharaoh gave them some possessions. So you see, I'm breaking all this down for you so that the child could see the BS. All right. Verse 4. I will make your descendants numerous as the stars in the sky, and will give them all these lands, and through your offspring, all nations on earth will be blessed. Right? Because um, Abraham obeyed, Abraham obeyed me and did everything I required of him, keeping my commandments, my decrees, and my instructions. So Isaac stayed in Gerar. 7. When the man of that place asked him about his wife, he said, he's my sister. Here we go, right? Because he was afraid she is my wife. He thought that the man of that place might kill him on the account Rebecca, because she is beautiful, right? So this is what's happening here. Abraham, when he went to Amalek, right? He stayed. Now, I told y'all that story before, but I'm reiterating that story. Okay. So basically, he lied and said that's my sister because he was afraid for his life. Now, let me ask you a question. Is that a good reason to lie? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Because if I have to lie to save my life, then it is what it is. Right? But back in the if you're a man of God and God is saying he's going to promise you all these things, okay, especially when he already, especially when you know what your father went through, meaning that your father went through that whole, test when he was supposed to sacrifice you and the Lord showed up. So you know that the Lord always show up at the last minute. So why would you be afraid of your life? That means you didn't have faith in the Lord, that the Lord would deliver you from Pharaoh for speaking the truth. But no, you had to lie. You feel me? You had to lie. Why? Because you was afraid to die. Why would you be afraid to die? Even same thing with y'all Christians today. Y'all want to go meet Jesus, but you're afraid to die. Everybody want to go to heaven, but they're afraid to die. Guess what? I'm not afraid to die because I am immortal. Because I'm not the flesh. You see, I know the truth. So anytime this body want to go, let it go. but I know I'm going to be sitting on the right hand side of my righteous ancestors. That's the difference between me and y'all. You feel me? That's the difference between me and y'all believers. I know there's a difference in believing and knowing. Okay? Verse 8. When Isaac had been there a long time, Amalek, king of the Philistines, looked down from a window and saw Isaac caressing his wife Rebekah. So Amalek summoned Isaac and said, "She is really your wife. Why did you say she is my sister?" Isaac answered and said, "Because I thought I might lose my life on her account. But my brother Isaac, you went, like I said, the Lord tested your father and he showed up. He put a ram instead of sacrificing you. So why didn't you have enough faith in your Lord that told you, I will make you a great nation because of your father? That means you had no faith in the Lord. You feel me? What if that was a test? You failed the test, my brother. You see what I'm saying? You failed the test. What if the Lord was testing your faith? So he failed the test, but the Lord didn't do anything to him. Because you know why? How I know he failed the test, and I know the Lord was testing him because why? The Lord is omnipotent and omnipresent. That's what they said. So he knows everything. You did. Verse 10. Then Amalek said, "What is this you have done to us?" Not just to him, but to us. One of the men might well have slept with your wife, and you would have brought guilt upon us. So Amalek gave orders to all the people: anyone who harms this man or his wife shall surely be put to death. Now that's a righteous man. You see what I'm saying? That's a righteous man. He even threatened these people and said, "Listen, man, anybody who touched this man and his wife, y'all going to the guillotine. I'm taking heads." Okay? Even if he lied to him. You feel me? Number 12. Isaac planted crops that in that land, and the same year reaped a, a hundredfold because the Lord blessed him. Okay? The Lord blessed him because he lied. Is that why your pastors are being blessed and not you because they're lying to you? Because it seems like this Lord is blessing people for telling lies. You see, when y'all read this, okay, and it says the man became rich and his wealth continued to grow until he became very wealthy. Interesting. So he lied. His wife lied. And he became very wealthy because the Lord blessed him because he lied. Or one of the reasons, because, well, that wasn't the reason because he lied, but he blessed them knowing that he lied. Let's put it that way. Okay? And not just him, but his wife. Right? Okay. Number 15. So all the wells that his father's servants had dug in the time of his father Abraham, the Philistines stopped up, filling them with earth. 16. Then Amalek said to Isaac, "Move away from us. You have become too powerful for us." Now, brothers and sisters, keep in mind, please keep in mind, right, that Isaac lied. Well, Abraham lied first, then um, Sarah lied, and here we have Isaac lying. Okay? Keep that in mind. Because, like I said, his father lied as well. So Isaac moved away from there and encamped in the valley of Gerar, where he settled. Isaac reopened the wells that had been dug in the time of his father Abraham, which the Philistines had stopped up after Abraham died, and he gave them the same names his father had given them. Isaac's servants dug in the valley and discovered a well of fresh water there. But the herders of Gerar quarreled with those of Isaac and said, "The water is ours." So he named the well Ezek, because they disputed with him. 21. Then they dug another well, but they quarreled over that one also. So he named it Sidna. 22. He moved on from there and dug another well, and no one quarreled over it because, third time is a charm, right? He named it Rehoboth, saying, "Now the Lord has given us room, and we will flourish in the land." 23. From there, he went up to Beersheba. That night, that night, the Lord appeared to him and said, again, the Lord showed up, knocking on the door, because that was a thing back in the days. It's only today Christians, the Lord don't show up for them, right? I am the God of your father Abraham. Do not be afraid, for I am with you. I will bless you and will increase your number of descendants for the sake of my servant Abraham. 25. Isaac built an altar there and called on the name of the Lord. There he pitched his tent, and there his servants dug a well. Meanwhile, Amalek had come to him from Giah with Ahozaph, which his personal advisor, and Phicol, the commander of forces. Isaac asked them, "Why have you come to me, since you are hostile to me and sent me away?" 28. They answered, "We saw clearly that the Lord was with you, so we said, there ought to be a sworn agreement between us and you. Let us make a treaty with you that you will do us no harm, just as we did not harm you, but always treated you well and sent you away peacefully. And now you are blessed by the Lord." Isaac then made a feast for them, and they ate and drank. Early the next morning, the men swore an oath to each other. Then Isaac sent them on their way, and they went away peacefully. The day Isaac's servants came and told him that the well had dug, they said, "We have found water." He called it Sheba, and this day the name of the town has been Beersheba, right? Now check this out. Jacob takes Esau's blessing. Okay. He didn't say that Esau gave Jacob his blessing. You see, y'all people don't read, man. Y'all don't read with understanding. All right. And y'all read what they tell you to read, and they give you the meaning of what they want you to think it means. But you don't do your own research and know what supplant means, because Jacob means a supplanter. And someone who supplants mean that it's through deceit, coercion, okay, lies, fraud. The man was a fraud. Okay, check this out. Jacob takes Esau's blessings. Let's read. When Esau was 40 years old, okay, he married Judith, daughter of Beri the Hittite, and also Besmath, daughter of Elon the Hittite. So he had two wives. Okay. Now, like I said before, the man wasn't dying. The only reason why the man was dying is because his brother refused to feed him when he was starving. What kind of love is that for your brother? But yet still, the one that wanted his brother to starve, and the one that stole the birthright, that's the one the Lord choose to bless. So what are you telling me about the characteristics of your Lord? That he's rewarding people who steal? He's rewarding people who lie? Hmm? Because that's what he's saying in your book. You feel me? And I know a lot of you will try to come up with all your excuses. Well, it's the Lord. He could do what he wants. No, he can't. No, he can't. Because if I'm supposed to be like him, if I'm supposed to strive to be like him, strive to be with him, why would I want to be with a liar? Why would I want to be like a liar? Why would I want to be like a thief or someone who encourages thievery? Why? Why is that? I wouldn't even do that to my brother. I wouldn't do that to my brother. But y'all cannot see what's wrong with this picture and the characteristic of your Lord. Okay. You know why I could speak with so much authority? Because I know it's a bunch of BS. I know I cannot be condemned for speaking the truth. That's the difference between me and y'all. I'm not afraid. I have no fear of your Lord because he's not my Lord. Okay. 30. I'm 35. They were a source of grief to Isaac and Rebekah. Let us proceed. Let us get a little further into the deception. Genesis chapter 27. And Isaac was old, and his eyes were so weak that he could no longer see. He called for Esau, his older son, and said to him, "My son," because that was his favorite. He loved him. All right. "Here I am," he answered. Number 2. Isaac said, "I am now an old man, and I don't know the day of my death. Now then, get your equipment, your quiver and bow, and go out to the open country to hunt some wild game for me. Prepare me the kind of tasty food I like and bring it to me so I could eat, that I may give you my blessing before I die. Number five, Rebecca was listening. Okay. In other words, she was listening on a conversation she had no right listening to because the man was talking to his son and giving him his blessing, right? But anyway, she was eavesdropping, right? Anyway, as Isaac spoke to his son Esau, um, when Esau left for the open country to hunt the game and bring it back, Rebecca said to her son, that was the one she loved, her favorite, right? Mama's boy. Look, I overheard your father say to your brother Esau, bring me some game and prepare me some tasty food to eat, so that I may give you my blessing in the presence of the Lord before I die. Now that was something that Isaac wanted to do before the Lord. Okay. He wanted to do it before the Lord before he died. Oh my goodness. That was the man's last will and testament. Okay. That was the man's last will and testament. The seed of Abraham. Okay. The one that God promised. Abraham had a covenant with God, with the Lord, right? And then Isaac was his son. And after all, the man wanted to, his last will and testament in the culture, it was supposed to go to the first son. All right. Esau, not the white man, not the pale man, Esau, the red one, just like Adam, to all you Israelites and all you Hebrews who think Esau was a white man. Okay. I'm going to show you how ignorant and foolish y'all are. Okay. Let us read number 8. Now, my son, listen carefully and do what I tell you. Now, that's her scheming and planning. That's the mother, Rebecca, scheming and planning. First of all, she overheard the conversation she shouldn't have heard. That means it wasn't for you, right? But here she is now scheming and planning. Okay? Let me ask you a question. Why didn't the Lord come down and stop her? Hmm? The Lord came down and tell her, and she couldn't have children. She was barren. The Lord came down and said, hey, you know what? You're gonna have some children. You're gonna have twins in your stomach. The Lord came down and said, hey, listen, man, then your stomach, you're gonna have two nations. You feel me? So why didn't the Lord come down in verse chapter 9 and say, Rebecca, what you're doing is not right, man. This is your father, his father's last will and testament. And he wanted to give it to his son, the firstborn. That is the culture. Okay? That is the culture. So what you're doing is not right. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put you to death. I've put people to death for less than that. But you know what? I'm not going to put you to death this time. I'm going to give you a warning. So don't do that. But no, he didn't do that. So let us proceed. Number 9, go out to the flock and bring me 2 choice young goats so I can prepare some tasty food for your father just the way he likes it. Then take it to your father to eat so that he may give you his blessing before he dies. 11, Jacob said to Rebekah, his mother, but my brother Esau is the hairy man, like I have smooth skin. Okay. Number 12, what if my father touches me? I would appear to be tricking him and would bring down a curse on myself after that blessing. Now, Jacob did not contest what his mother was saying because he thought it was immoral. He's contesting what she's saying because he afraid that his father might find out, because Esau is the hairy one. Hmm? Esau is the hairy one. That's the only reason why he didn't want to do it. Not because he said, well, mom, that's not right. That's immoral, mom. Okay. That belongs to my brother Esau. We are people of the Lord. We are people of God. We pray. We do sacrifices. Why would we want to even do that, mom? That's not right, mother. But no, mother, I'm not doing it because I'm not hairy like him. And then I would find the father would find out it's a trick. So yeah, I'm sure y'all deception that nobody's explaining, this Hebrews and these Israelites are not explaining it to you. These pastors, they're not explaining it to you. No, they're just telling you, well, oh no, Jacob was the blessed one and Esau sold his birthright. Did he really sell his birthright? Okay, let's read some more. His mother said to him, my son, let the curse fall on me. All right, now that's gangster. That's gangster. She sounded like a pale woman to me. Okay, she said, let the curse fall on me. All right, just do what I say. Go and get them. So she's even stressing the deception even more. She rather die. Okay, she rather die, but make sure that that fraud, okay, is taking place. You feel me? She rather die and make sure that deception will be fulfilled. She rather lose her soul. You dig? She'd rather lose her soul because of a deception. Hmm? And even in verse 13, the Lord could have came down and said, listen, Jacob, check this out, man. I've already promised your father, your grandfather, Abraham, and your father, that I'm going to multiply your seed. You don't have to do that, son. You don't have to do it. Leave your brother Esau. Let him, let him live. Don't do that. But no, where was the Lord at? The Lord probably said, nah, man, that's not my business. You know what I mean? I'm going to let it rock. So the Lord let it rock. Number 14, he went and got them and brought them to his mother, and she prepared some tasty food, just like the way his father liked it. 15, then Rebekah took the best clothes of Esau, her older son, which she had in the house, and put them on her younger son. Even further deception. 16, she also covered his hands and smooth part of his neck with the goat skin. That's another deception. Okay? That's another deception. Not that it was just a deception. You went and killed goats that wasn't supposed to feed the man. So even the goats was victim to your fraud. Okay? 17. Then she handed her son Jacob the tasty food and the bread she made. 18. He went to his father and said, my father. Yes, my son, he answered. Who is this? Jacob said to his father, I am Esau, your firstborn. There goes another lie. So not just that it's a deception, but he's lying. Guess what? Isaac was a liar. Sarah was a liar. Abraham was a liar. Rebecca was a liar and a thief. Like I said, from the very beginning, just like their father, they were liars, thieves, and thieves. Okay? Guess what? He went to the man and said, I'm your firstborn. The Lord didn't show up and say, oh, hold up. This is going too far. This is going too far. This is going too far. Let's stop right now before I have to start killing people, before I have to start taking lives. This is going too far. Okay, the Lord didn't show up. Let's proceed. I have done as you have told me, Jacob said. Please sit up and eat some of my game, so that you may give me your blessing. 20. Isaac asked his son, how did you find it so quickly, my son? The Lord your God gave me success, he replied. So now he's using God, the Lord. He's using the Lord and using the Lord name in vain and lying to say to his father and say, you know what? The Lord your God gave me success, he replied. So therefore he's using the Lord name in vain. And then he's lying, he's cheating, he's stealing. Oh, well, hold up, chief. Oh, you know what? The Lord didn't give them the commandment yet, the commandment to Moses yet. So before that, before Moses, it was okay to lie. It was okay. It was okay to cheat. It was okay to defraud. Okay, very interesting. Because the commandments were not created yet. So maybe that's why the Lord didn't show up. Because clearly there's deception, there's lie, people are stealing. Okay? And not just stealing, they are using the Lord's name in vain. That Jacob, that's the one that was blessed. You Israelites, that's your father. And you Hebrews, that's your father. Okay? Your progenitor, so to speak. Number 21. Then Isaac said to Jacob, come near so I can touch you, my son, to know whether you really are my son Esau or not. Even Isaac felt something in his spirit wasn't right. But the poor man was so blind, he couldn't see. So he wanted to feel. I felt, I'm feeling this for this man. The man, his last testament, his will is being robbed from him. Okay? You're not just robbing your brother's birthright, but you're robbing your father's last will and testament. Oh my goodness. This is detestful, man. 22. Jacob went close to his father Isaac, who touched him and said, "The voice is the voice of Jacob, but the hands are the hands of Esau." 23. He did not recognize him, for his hands were hairy, like those of his brother Esau. So he proceeded to bless him. "Are you really my son?" he asked. "I am." Another lie. Another lie. Okay. Even right there, when the Lord knew that Isaac was about to go do the wrong thing. Okay. The Lord could have said, "Oh man, listen, you know what, man? Check this out. I have sat here. I have seen the deception, the lie. Okay. All this. It's about time for me to stop this." But no, the Lord didn't stop it. And he said, "My son, bring me some of your game to eat, so that I may give you my blessing." Jacob brought it to him, and he ate, and he brought some wine, and he drank. Then his father Isaac said to him, "Come here, my son," and he kissed him. 27. So he went to him and kissed him. When Isaac caught the smell of his clothes, he blessed him and said, "Ah, the smell of my son is the smell of the field that the Lord has blessed." Okay. Even at that time, Isaac was still giving reference to the Lord. Why didn't the Lord show up and say, "Yo, bro, this is not right, man. Isaac, that's not your son, Esau. That is Jacob, and he's defrauding you." Okay? He's defrauding you. So I'm going to have to take him out. But no, the Lord didn't show up. Nah, allow the lie to go through. Okay? Allow the fraud to go through. Allow the fraud. Leave it alone, because I haven't created the commandments yet. Okay? 28. May God give you heaven's dew and earth's richness, and abundance of grain and new wine. 29. May nations serve you and people bow down to you. Be Lord over your brothers, and may the sons of your mother bow down to you. May those who curse you be cursed, and those who bless you be blessed. 30. After Isaac finished blessing him, and Jacob had scarcely left his father's presence, his brother Esau came, the one that was rightful for the inheritance. Okay? He too prepared some tasty food and brought it to his father. Then he said to him, "My father, please sit up and eat some of my game, so that you may give me your blessing." His father Isaac asked him, "Who are you?" "I'm your son," he answered, "your firstborn Esau." Isaac trembled violently. That poor man. The man's heart became weak, almost caught a heart attack, because of the lie, the deception, the fraud, the supplanter, Jacob, Jacob, the father of the Israelites. Okay? Who was it then that hunted the game and brought it to me? I ate it just before you came, and I blessed him. Indeed, he will be blessed. Okay, even at that point, the Lord could have came and said, "Yo, man, Esau, you're a good man, man. You go in the fields, you hunt, you bring game. That means you were supplying for the family. All Jacob do is sit in the tent like a bum. He don't do nothing. He's a mama's boy. She always providing for. He can't do nothing for himself." You know what I'm saying? But the Lord didn't do none of that. None of that. Okay? He let the man steal his brother's inheritance. 34. When Esau heard his father's words, he burst out with a loud and bitter cry and said to his father, "Bless me, my father." But he said, "Your brother came deceitfully and took your blessing." You see, even Isaac said it was deceitful. So I'm not making this up. Isaac said it was deceitful, but your pastors will not teach you that. Your Hebrew Israelites will not teach y'all that. But y'all dying to be Israelites. Hmm? Do you think you're going to enter into the kingdom of the Most High with that, when you came from a lie? Y'all got to repent. You see what I'm saying? Y'all got to repent. That's why y'all are dealing with what y'all dealing with, because from the beginning, your fathers, your originator was a lie and a thief. You feel me? He was a fraud. You feel me? 36. Esau said, Isn't he rightfully named Jacob? This is the second time he has taken advantage. Second time. You feel me? Second time. So that man is he was always defrauding his brother. It wasn't the first time. He took my birthright and now he's taking my blessing 2 times. Okay. Esau did not Esau is reiterating that he did not sell his birthright. He took it. Okay. He took it, supplanted it by fraud, and now he's taking his blessing. Then he asked, haven't you reserved my blessing for me? Isaac answered Esau, I have made him Lord over you, and have made all his relatives his servants, and I have sustained him with grain and new wine, so what can I possibly do for you, my son? Esau said to his father, do you have only one blessing? Only one blessing, man. I mean, come on, bro. You know, my father, bless me, my father. Then Esau wept aloud. His father Isaac answered him, your dwelling will be away from the earth riches, away from the dew of the heavens above. So let me ask you, who's truly getting the blessing to you all, you Israelites and you Hebrews? What did Jacob tell you? What did Isaac tell Esau? Don't worry about it, son. He could have the world. He could have the wine. He could have the land. He could have all of it. But guess what I'm going to do for you? Your dwelling will be away from the earth in richness and from the dew heaven above. Okay? He said, you will live by the sword and you will serve your brother. It's okay. But guess what? Your blessings is going to be in heaven. He said, you know what? But when you grow restless, you will throw his yoke from off your neck. 41, Esau said, held a grudge against Jacob because of the blessing his father had given him. He said to himself, the days of mourning for my father are near. Then I will kill my brother Jacob. 2. When Rebekah was told what her older son Esau had said, she sent for her younger son and said to him, your brother Esau is planning to avenge you by killing you. So now she over here snitching again. And I'm not saying she's supposed to allow her older son to kill her younger son. That's not what I'm saying. You feel me? But she could have stopped all of this. Okay? She was a witch. You feel me? 43. Now then, my son, do what I say. Flee at once to my brother Laban in Haran. 44. Stay with him for a while until your brother's fury subsides. 45. When your brother is no longer angry with you and forgets what you did to him, or what you did to him. Oh, so you did something to him. Oh, okay. I thought he sold his birthright. No. Or you did something to him. Okay. So now you're confessing. Cool. I'll send word for you to come back from there. Why should I lose both of you in one day? Then Rebekah said to Isaac, I'm disgusted with living because of these Hittite women. All right. If Jacob takes a wife from among the women of his land, from the Hittite women, like this, my life will not worth living. Let me stop here for a second. Let me come to the chat. Okay. Now, my brothers and sisters, you see what I'm saying? You see, when y'all read, when y'all read and y'all read with understanding, and when you're reading truth, you see, you will see all the lies. That's why in the Bible that I keep telling y'all, there's 2 different bloodlines. It's all allegory though. All right. There's a good Jesus and there's a bad Jesus. All right. And the good one said, your father was a deceiver and a liar from the very beginning. You did. That was this Abraham and his descendants. So what they did was, again, it was they created 2 versions of 2 Abraham, 2 Adam, 2 stories, one with a good side and one with a bad side. Okay. So now I want you Israelites to explain this to me. I don't mind coming on camera. I don't mind having a discussion with you. We're not going to argue. Let us break this down so that the world could see the deception. But I'm certainly sure you have an excuse, because y'all always make excuses for y'all evil and y'all lies and y'all deception in the Bible. You always have an excuse for all the killing your Lord did. But yet still the Lord is supposed to be good all the time, and all the time the Lord is good. But he killed, in fact, I have never seen Lucifer or Satan kill anybody in the Bible. Your Lord is the one sanctioning all the killing. But yet still, Satan is the bad one. Yet still, Lucifer is the bad one. Yet still, the serpent is the bad one. But there again, Moses turned his rod into a serpent, the brazen serpent, that when the Israelites looked at it, they were saved. But I thought serpents were bad. That's what Christians keep talking about. So when you realize the fairy tale and all the nonsense, you have to let it go. You don't have a choice but let it go. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm reading the story now like I'm reading to my son, my child, and explaining to them why you should not serve this Lord and why you are not an Israelite. Because that's a curse. Because you know what? Oh, the only thing you're going to get is the earth. The only thing you're going to get is the riches of the earth. Yes, you will have children like the stars. You'll have children like the sand in the ocean. But your only blessing will be that of the earth. You know why? Because your father stole his brother's birthright. He stole his blessing. And then his father, Isaac, said, listen, it's okay. Let him keep it. But you know what you're going to do? You're going to have your blessings in the heaven. So let me ask you, Israelites and you Hebrews, which one is going to be more blessed in the eyes of the true Most High? Is it you or is it Esau? Y'all fools. And by the way, Esau wasn't a pale man. Esau wasn't a white man like y'all keep talking about. All right? Esau means red. And guess what Adam means? Red. So if Esau was white, guess what Adam is? Keep telling y'all playing with the wrong one, man. Y'all playing with the wrong one. Now, let us proceed. So I've broken down Esau. I've broken down Edom. I've told you about Adam. I told you what Jacob means. Jacob means supplanter. And we see what supplanter means. Now, we're going to get into a couple more, what I call debunk some things for y'all. All right? Let us get into what we call, let's go back into the lexicon. You see, the Bible says what? Study to show thyself approved. Seek, and ye shall find. You see, if y'all want salvation, y'all got to let go of the false doctrines. Okay, that book and that Israelite and that Hebrew thing, all that stuff is a bunch of cockamania. Okay, it's a fairy tale. It's a fairy tale. If y'all truly think a supreme Most High condone this, people lying, stealing, killing, okay, fraud. If y'all really think that the Most High, the supreme Most High did that, then I don't know what to tell y'all, man. Let us go. Again, let us share this. Let us share this. Sharing is, I love to share, man, because sharing is caring. So let us go look at devil in the lexicon. Devil. Okay? The lexicon. Let's look at the word devil. Now, devil, what it means. So as you could see here, and they have a word that says Sai. It means kid, goat, devil, satire, hairy, rough. Okay. That's why I tell people, stop calling your children kid. Kid is a goat. But maybe it's just me, man. Maybe it's just me. What do I know, right? Let's look at devil. Devil, the pronunciation is shed or shade. All right. In that's the transliteration. Okay. So we have the Hebrew word here. It's a masculine. Okay. The root etymology in the Hebrew word, it means shade. Okay. So when you say stop throwing shade, you're basically saying stop throwing the devil. Okay. Now, devil is demon. That's all it means. All devil means is demon. All right. And then you have shade. It says what? It says a demon as malignant. Okay. A devil. But that's what it means, like an evil spirit, whatever the case is, right? But it also says now, check this out. The Strong's H7700, a noun masculine, apparently demon, loan word from what? Assyrian Sidu, it means a protecting spirit, especially of a bull colossus. Okay, the word demon was borrowed, okay, or alone from the Assyrian Sidu, which means a protecting spirit. So hold up, you're trying to tell me a demon is a protecting spirit? Hmm, interesting. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Because the word was borrowed from the what it says, Assyrian word Sidu, and it's a protecting spirit. That's a demon, okay, which is a devil. All right. Now let us go look at the daemon, Daimonion. Let's see what that is. Okay. When I put it earlier, it came up, but I think I had put in was it on the devil? I think it might have been on the devil. Give me 1 second. Let me see if it comes up. There we go. We have devil where it says devil God. Let me highlight that for you guys right here. Where it says devil God. Now I'm looking at G 1140 where it says devil God. Okay. Let us go read that here for a second and see what it means in the Strongs. Okay. And it's pronounced daemon. Daemonian. All right. What does it say? It says, it's what another demon or devil means. It says what? Number one, it says outline of what? Biblical usage, right? With a question mark. And they also have the Strong's definitions, right? It says a divine power, a deity, a divinity. So you're trying to tell me the devil is divine? Hmm. And it says what? A spirit, a being what? Inferior to God, superior to man. So therefore, the devil is between you and God. Inferior to God, but superior to man. So therefore, the devil, demon, is superior to you. Hmm. Okay. Hmm. And then he says what? Evil spirits or messenger and ministers of the devil. So therefore, a demon, the devil, is actually demons of the devil or ministers of the devil is superior to man, you, but just inferior, um, an inferior spirit to God. I tell people, man, when y'all don't read and study for yourself, and this, guess what it says here? Let's look at the Strong's definition here. It says, see the Strong's definition legend. It says, daemon, nurture of what? Derivative of, they give the Strong's number. It says what? A daemonic being, by extension, a deity, devil, God. So the devil is a God. So when I tell you, when you read your Bible and you see Lord God and God, who are you talking about? You see, like I tell y'all people, man, I know what I'm talking about when I come on here and teach. Okay? A demon, demonic being, by extension, a deity, right? Devil is comma God, but God with a small g, right? Okay. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, right? All right, cool. Am I getting y'all scared now? Yeah, you should be. All right. Let us go look at what Satan means. Satan. In your Bible, Strong's lexicon, okay? Let's go look at. So we have below are the results, lexicon search using criteria. There are three lexicon entries for that match. We have one Hebrew / Aramaic, and we have two Greek, right? So all devil means is adversary. So let's look at the one that says adversary, right? Satan. All right, Satan. It says Shatan. All right, what does it say? Devil means what? It says adversary, one who withstands. So therefore, anybody could be Satan, like I've always told y'all before. All Satan means is what? Adversary. That's what it means. It's adversary. All it means is adversary. All right. So we have one, then we have 1A. Adversary in general, personal or national. Okay. Personal or national. Then we have number 2. What does it say? Superhuman adversary. Oh, superhuman adversary. So Satan is a superhuman adversary. And then we have a Satan as noun, right? It doesn't say anything about a man in hell with a pitchfork. It doesn't say that. All it said is an opponent, adversary, an arch enemy of good. Okay? Adversary, Satan to withstand. So anybody who's the opposite of good is a Satan. That's why you have a lot of black devils running around. Even a lot of them that's calling the so-called pale man the devil. It doesn't matter what color or race you are. There's Satan in every race for all you hypocrites. Okay? Y'all stop playing with me, man, because I'm well studied and I'm continuing to study to shut all this foolishness down because I'm going to teach people how to free themselves from that nonsense. Okay? Now let us go. Let's go look at serpent. Look at serpent. And when I get to Lucifer, this one is going to blow your mind. Let us get to serpent. All right, serpent. Now, people may, oh, well, chief, the Bible. You see, I'm using Bible stuff because I know a lot of you are going to, I'm using King James Bible stuff because I know a lot of you, and not just the King James Bible, I'm going into the Hebrew meaning and the Aramaic meaning of that. So it means it's even more original. Okay? Because I know like you guys like to make your excuses for the BS. All right. So now we have what am I looking at now? Serpent. All right. We have 6 matches for that. We have 4 Hebrew Aramaic, and we have 2 Greek results. So let's get into that, right? We have Satan afraid. We have serpents, which mean, it could mean afraid worms. But let us look at Satan. All right. We also have the fiery serpent. We're going to take a look at that as well. Okay. And that's Lexicon Strong's H5175, just so y'all know. And the Hebrew pronunciation for serpent is Nakash. Okay. All right. Nakash. I'm having so much fun with this. Too much fun. What does it say? Serpent 1. Serpent, a snake. And then we have 1 A, B, C. Let's break that down. What does it say? Serpent A, B, image of serpent, and C, fleeing serpent. Okay? Mythological. Mythological is all myth. Okay? Nakash, snake, from its hiss, serpent. And that's all serpent means. It didn't say evil. It didn't say none of that. It just said serpent, exactly what it is. A snake, serpent, image of a serpent, a fleeing serpent is mythological. Okay? That's all it means. And the pronunciation is Nakash, a snake from its hiss, serpent. All right? Let us go back. Let's now look at fiery serpent. Fiery serpent. It's pronounced Sharap, okay, or Sharaf. Sharaf. All right? What does it say? Fiery serpent, serpent fiery, a poisonous serpent fiery from burning effect of poison. Seraph, a seraphim. Okay, so your seraphins are, you have seraphins and you have cherubims. Your seraphins are actually serpents. Okay, but what does it say? A says what? Majestic beings with 6 wings, human hands, or voices in attendance upon God. Hold up. So you telling me the fiery serpent, which you Christians think serpents are evil, y'all Christians think serpent is Lucifer. What does it say? For A, it says a majestic beings with 6 wings, human hands, or voices in attendance upon God. Oh, Like I said, study to show thyself approved. That's what a fiery serpent is. Okay. Now let us go with the dragon. The serpent, dragon, serpent, or tanin. Tanin. The dragon, serpent, a sea monster, dragon or dinosaur, sea or river monster, a serpent, a venomous snake. All right. I still haven't seen anything serpent that tell you anything about a Satan or a devil. Okay. As a matter of fact, fiery serpent is actually an angel that's with the Lord, with the God, upon God. Okay. Let's go to the next one. Because like I said, y'all people are so brainwashed, it's not even funny. Here's the next one at serpent. 1 second. And I thought I was sharing my screen. Oh, apologize. I thought I was sharing my screen, man. I'm going through all this beautiful and I'm talking it and I'm not sharing it. I'm tight. Ooh. Anyway, you know, let us go again. I was showing that to y'all, man. Now I got to go back again. All right, now, because I actually thought I was sharing it. Let's do this again. Let's do this again. We have the first one, right? It says serpent. So like I said, this serpent right here, Nakash, all it means in Hebrew, the translation, all serpent means is snake, serpent, image of serpent, a fleeing serpent. Fleeing serpent is mythological. Okay, good. Let us go to the next one. Go to the next one. Then we have a fiery serpent. I actually thought I was showing y'all this, but for some reason it wasn't being shared. So I want you to see it with your own eyes. So, okay. So this one is the fiery serpent. It's called Sharaf. Okay. What does it mean? Fiery serpent, it means, and this is the biblical usage, King James translation, strong concordance, AH 8314. All right. Fiery serpent. It says serpent, fiery serpent, poisonous serpent, fiery, burning effect of poison, seraph, seraphim. So, like I said before, you have the seraphim and you have the cherubim. All right. Then you have A. What does it say? Majestic being with 6 wings, human hands or voices in attendance upon God. So, therefore, you have fiery serpents who belong to God. Is that why the brazen serpents with Moses, when the Israelites look at it, they live, they survive the bite, the venomous bites of the magicians of Egypt? But yet still y'all Christians think serpents are evil. You see how brainwashed y'all people are? Oh, well, the serpent was in the garden. It's evil. It's the devil. It's Lucifer. Y'all need to shut the hell up. Okay, y'all don't know what y'all talking about. How about that? Let us go to the next one. The dragon. Let's go to the dragon. Tanin. All the dragon serpent means is what? Dragon, serpent, sea monster, a dragon, a dinosaur. So a dinosaur was considered a dragon, a serpent. Okay. Sea or river monster, a serpent, venomous snake. That's all it means. Capiche? What else do we have? Then we have a creeping thing, serpent. Then we have serpent, Ophis. Then we have Ophis. Ophis, another one. It's pronounced the Hebrew pronunciation is Ophis. What does that one mean? Let me see. This one actually means snake, serpent. With the ancients, the serpent was an emblem of cunning and wisdom. The serpent who deceived Eve was regarded by the Jews as the devil. Really? But if so, how do you determine which serpent it was when the word is just serpent? But it says what? In the ancient days, the emblem of a serpent was cunning and wisdom. But the serpent who deceived Eve was regarded as, well, by the Jews. It's only a Jewish thing, as the devil. But when I showed you what devil meant, okay, and they said it was a devil, right? I tell people, man, when y'all have to read, man, read. Okay, check this out. All devil means is demon. But when we look at demon, it said a demon was what? When we look at it, it was giving you the definition of a demon as, you know, some type of, divine entity. So therefore, if demon is a divine entity, then the devil in the Garden of Eden was a divine entity. Go look it up yourself in the Strong Concordance. I'm not making it up. I'm not making it up. You feel me? And then they have another one that says devil and then comma God, which is daemon. We already went through that already. Okay. We already went through that one. All it means is look at right here. Divine power, deity, divinity. That's a demon. All right. The only thing is it's a little less inferior than God, but it supersedes and it's more superior than man. You see, I'm not making these things up, man. I'm not making it up. I'm not making it up. People think I make these things up. No, I don't, man. Because when I come on here, I make sure I study first. Okay? I make sure I study before I come on here and show you anything. All right? As you can see in Eve, when I put in evil there is devil. Okay? Then you will see kid, goat, seer. That's why I tell people stop calling your children goats. Stop calling them kids. Okay? Evil report. Let me see. I'm trying to see if I can just find the word evil by itself. The last one here, evil. Boom. The last one here, evil, is pronounced phalos. Phalos. That's the Hebrew pronunciation. Okay. And what does it say here? Easy, slight, ordinary, mean, worthless, of no account, ethically bad, base, wicked. Okay. So evil, devil, I'm showing you it says what? Easy, slight, ordinary, mean, worthless. That's what it means. So that's what all the devil means. And when you go look at devil, devil means demon. What did it say? Demon actually means a divine entity, a little less inferior than the God, but higher than man. So even the devil, even the demons is higher than you, but yet still you're serving you have a Lord. I don't get that. These demons ain't higher than me, I'll tell you that, because that Lord ain't my Lord. I'm above the demons. Because if God is above the demons, I'm above the demons. Man, listen, y'all think this is a game, huh? All right, then. So we looked at Satan, we look at devil, we look at serpent. Let us look at Lucifer. Lucifer. This one is gonna blow y'all away. If they got y'all afraid of Lucifer. But I have to laugh. This is just so funny to me, man. This, you see, when you study, you could laugh at things like that. Okay, you could laugh. So let us see first what we have. There's no word for Lucifer. There's no Greek results. Okay, so we have one for Hebrew / Aramaic. All right, so Lucifer, which is Hallel. Hallel. That is the Hebrew or the Aramaic pronunciation. Hallel. Okay, what does it say? It says in Hebrew, in a sense of brightness. Okay, I'm giving you a clue what or who Lucifer is. For all you Christians who think Lucifer was in the garden, let's read again. Lucifer. What does it say? Outline of biblical usage. Okay, Lucifer. Number one, it says Lucifer, a light bearer. And then A says shining one, morning star, Lucifer. And what does it say in I? Of king of Babylon and Satan. Okay. The Lucifer you read in Isaiah, where in Isaiah that talk about, oh, how you fall from heaven, Lucifer, that had nothing to do with the devil, man. That had nothing to do with Satan. That was the king of Babylon, an adversary. An adversary, because all Satan means is adversary for y'all slow believers. And then what does it say? Hallel, B. Here's the proof. Hallel describing the king of Babylon. You see, I just killed the myth of Lucifer right there with a little bit of studying. And what does it say? Hallel, in a sense of brightness, the morning star. So y'all afraid of a morning star. You guys afraid of the king of Babylon when you wasn't even in that time. So why aren't you afraid of Joe Biden? Because the United States is the new Babylon. That is Hillel. Chief, I don't think they're ready for this. I don't think they're ready for you, Chief. I don't think they're ready for you. Nah, they cannot handle the truth. I don't think y'all could handle the truth. I'm telling you, man, when I'm done with y'all Hebrews and y'all Israelites, you'll be in Pelican Bay because you ain't got nothing on me. Okay? Let's go to Baal. Baal. Let's go look at Baal. Baal. Let us read. Baal. Baal is. Baal is what? A lord. Baal is a lord. A supreme male divinity of Phoenicians or the Canaanites. A Reubenite. Guess what? A Reubenite is Baal, the son of Jael, grandfather of Saul. You see what I'm saying? So once again, man, I don't know what they're doing to y'all people. Hey, Mr. G1, what it is, lineage. I don't know what they're doing to y'all people, man. But y'all people are very brainwashed. Y'all people are lost. And I'm not making fun of you, man. I'm just making fun of the fairy tales and the nonsense. I just broke down everything that they taught you to be afraid of. Everything. First of all, Lucifer had nothing to do with no devil. Lucifer had nothing to do with no man with a pitchfork with a red outfit in hell. Lucifer, they was talking about the king of Babylon, Hallel. Okay? Satan, the adversary at that time of the people, or of that certain tribe. That's all Lucifer meant at that time. But y'all Christians afraid of Lucifer when you wasn't even living in Babylon time because it did not apply to you. Oh, but you're voting for Biden though. The new Hillel of the new Rome. You see how they got y'all jacked up? And then you're afraid of Baal. But it tells you what? Baal is a divinity. A Reubenite is Baal, the Lord of the Canaanites. You see what I'm saying? And guess who the Canaanites are? The Canaanites are the cursed seed of Ham. And guess who they are? They are the ones who gave you Jesus, the Nazarene. So who do you think you're serving? You're serving Baal. You see how they got y'all messed up and jacked up? They got y'all jacked up because y'all don't know what y'all doing. All you do is sit around and have people explain things to you and what it means. And the pastors don't break this down to you. They don't break it down to you. They don't read the Bible, go show you definitions of the actual Hebrew word, what it means. No, because in English is very deceiving. Okay. The English language is very deceiving. One word could mean a million things. One word could mean a million things. So they got you worshiping all this, this bad demonic entities. Okay. I just showed you what it was. Even with the word earth, they have different meanings for earth. They have the planet Earth. They have earth, the ground. They have earth, the world. I mean, all kind of stuff in the Hebrew lexicon. So how do you know which earth they're talking about when it says in the beginning God created the heaven and the earth? How do you know which earth? How do you know which earth they're talking about when they said about the flood? Even if they say it was worldwide. That was a myth. And then I showed you video where they got all that stories from. The first and the oldest written any type of religious text. In fact, the first written God on paper was Anu. And Anu had a mother and father. Okay? Something is wrong, man. No, something is wrong. And y'all just can't see it. You can't see it. You feel me? You can't see it because you're too blind. But no, Chief is the one. He don't know what he's talking about. He don't know what he's talking about. So I tell y'all, man, y'all think y'all gonna be saved? You're not gonna be saved, because the problem is this Lord cannot save you. That's the problem. That's the problem. Cannot be saved. Wow. That's why I say it's sad, man. I tell you, man, like for real. When I tell people, I cry. I cry for people, man, because it's just sad what religion has done to y'all. It is really sad. It's painful. You know what I mean? It is. I don't know. Do you know that your God, the Lord God Jehovah Yahweh, okay, is literally the fifth or the sixth oldest God since the inception of any written God? Because all these different civilizations had their own name for their own gods that came thousands of years before yours. Thousands of years. All these cultures did was created their own gods. Okay, this ain't got nothing to do with the supreme most high of the entire universe, man. No, that's people and their culture giving their deities names. You feel me? Even the oldest supported religion that says Anu, Anu, Anu is their God. Guess what? He had a mother, he had a father. You feel me? And that was thousands and thousands of years before your Christian religion, your Islam religion, your Judaism religion. So tell me, man, what are we missing here? Hmm? Tell me, what are we missing here? Let me see if I can pull this up for y'all real quick. Any one of y'all contest me. Let me see. Um, chronology. What are the oldest chronology? See, it's some called the official oldest surviving worlds with teaching older than Buddhism, older than Christian Islam. Even Zoroastrianism, what is it's called Zoroastrianism is older. Even that is older than Judaism. It's older than Christianity, older than Islam, way older than that. Okay, let me see something again. Chronology. See if I can find that for y'all. And then the oldest deities go back. It go back to um, it go back to Sumer. The oldest deities go back to Sumer. Hmm? So I don't know what y'all talking about, man. So if the oldest deities on earth that people talked about and recorded, all right, close this message. If the oldest ones came from Sumer, then why aren't you serving them? Let us read. Let me see. You're talking about the oldest ones, right? Let's see. Um, and Leo, Gilgamesh, the myth. And they're all myth. They are all myth. All of them are myth. Okay. All of them are myth. Mythologies. Okay. Eridu. They're all myth, man. Let me see how far we coming down. Let me just give y'all a little sample of that. And I'm not here to tell y'all serve anything. No, I'm just showing you, how this is all BS. Okay. Look at this. I'm going to show y'all, like, going back to the oldest first set of recorded religions. It started with Inanna. Okay. We're talking about that's Inanna, right? Inanna is the ancient Sumerian goddess of love. Because the further back you go into antiquity, guess what? They were worshiping women. Don't let nobody fool y'all, man. Like I said, I'm here to debunk all these lies. You know what I'm saying? All these lies. Because the mother always came first. The mother was always first. Even like I said, even Anu had a mother and father. Okay? All gods have belly buttons. Don't let them fool you. Now, Inanna is the ancient Sumerian goddess of love, sensually, sensuality, fertility, procreation, and also of war. She later became identified as the Akkadians and Assyrian as the god Ishtar. I'm showing you the chronology, all right? And further with the Hittite, Shuska, and the Phoenician Aster, Astata or Astat, and the Greek Aphrodite, among many others. So basically, the older known deities, every culture was renaming them, okay? Because what they were doing was these different societies or these different cultures, they would go against each other. And then even if they were together at some time, but then once they go against each other, then they would come up with their own name for their own deity and they would fight each other. Okay. And the conqueror would the conquered would have to take up the god of the conqueror. So that was a practice. You dig? Same thing. Well, Chief, how can you prove this? Well, let's go back to 1492. We didn't have any of these gods in America. No Allah, no Jehovah, no Yahweh, none of that in the Americas. Okay. America was Christianized before it became Christians, before it became Islam. Okay. But we didn't have none of that. But guess what everybody's serving today? So that was a practice. Okay, once we capture you, once we take over your joint, you have to serve our God. Either you do or you're going to die. All right. Now, and then okay, so we have Inanna came all the way down to Aphrodite. All right. She was also seen as the bright star of the morning, Lucifer, okay, which was Venus. You see where all this came from? Okay, now identified with Roman goddess. So they just, I'm the Roman goddess, Inanna. Inanna is one of the candidates cited as the subject of Bernie relief, better known as the Queen of the Night. Okay. Um, the Tataruta relief dating from the reign of Hammurabi of Babylon, and you have a date right there, although her sister Arishkigal is the goddess most likely depicted. Now you'll see I have a lot of silver and gold things. That's because I'm buying silver and gold because I already know what's going to happen. So you'll see a lot of ads with gold and silver on my stuff. So just letting y'all know why that's coming up. Now check this out. In some myth, she is the daughter of Enki and the god of wisdom, fresh water, magic, and a number of other elements and aspects of life, while in others she appears as the daughter of Nana, god of the moon and wisdom, but in most often depicted as the grandfather of Enlil, okay, and niece of Enki. As the daughter of Nana, she was the twin sister of the sun god Utu, Shamash, and in some poems, including Gilgamesh, Eridu, and the Neverworld, which I already went through all of that with y'all. She is the sister of the hero Gilgamesh. So you see how I'm putting everything, bringing everything back into 360, showing you where all this came from, breaking all this down for you, showing you that it's all myth. Okay? That whole Bible you're reading is made up, man. Okay, that is not the name of the original deities that the older people knew and they served. Every culture had their own name for their deity. Y'all are serving a deity that was created by Rome, man. A demon, a devil, man. Y'all don't get that. Okay, y'all don't get that. That's what your Lord God is, and that's his son. It's two versions they give you, but they give you the evil version to serve and worship as your savior. Okay? The power and provocation is almost always a defining characteristic in any of the tales told of her, Inanna in myth, through the work of the Akkadian poet and high priestess, and he do honor. And you have the date BC, daughter of Sargon of Akkad. Sargon is where they got the Moses story. I broke that down again. Okay, so all this came before your Bible, son. So how are you going to tell me your Bible is real? How are you going to tell me it is the ultimate truth when it was stolen and plagiarized? Hmm? How are you going to tell me that? It is not the original story. Inanna was notably identified with Ishtar and rose to prominence from the local vegetative deity of the Sumerian people to the queen of the heaven and most popular goddess of Mesopotamia, scholar Gwendolyn Lyric writes. Okay, and then they're talking about Yoruk. Inanna was the foremost Sumerian goddess patron in the deity of Yoruk. Now, where did they tell you Moses was from? You see, they just took some of the word. They took they took the U and the K out, and they gave you You see what I'm saying? Like, so when people don't study, you dig? When people don't study, man, y'all are gonna fall for the BS. That's what you do. That's what you do. Her name was written with a sign that represents a reed stalk tied into a loop at the top. This appears in the very earliest written text from the mid um, 4th millennium BC. She is also mentioned in all the early god list among the four main deities, along with Anu. I just told you about Anu, Enki, and Enlil. Okay, how come y'all ain't serving Inanna? How come you're not serving Anu? How come you're not serving Enki or El Enlil? How do you know which one they used to give you? The one that you're serving right now? Because I'm talking about those are 3,500, almost 4,000 years older than your God in the Bible. So that means that there are people on earth that's older than your God, than your Lord God in your Bible. Somebody prove me wrong, because they were made up. And listen, okay, I could go on and on and on and on. Like I said, I could go on and on and on. Right there, facts. All that stuff is on scrolls and tablets, the same way they say the Bible was on scrolls and tablets. Feel me? It's all there. I tell you, man, this is sad, man. Sad. She was one of she was like the they was worshiping her. You know what I mean? So all that stuff is there. Go, go read it for yourself. Go read it for yourself. Go read it for yourself. You can do your own research. You don't have to go too far to find the truth. All you have to do is just do a little research, man. Just do a little research. That's all you have to do. Get your head out of that book and do some real research, and you will see. Let me see. In history, down to well, I hope I gave y'all enough information, man. I'm about to shut this down. I just wanted to give y'all something to think about. Okay, it's something to think about. Something to think about. Okay, I'm just tired, man. Tired of the lies. Tired of the lies. Tired of the misleading people. You know, misleading people, and y'all better wake up, because y'all have to comprehend what age we are living in. For those who can't get it right, well, I guess you have some reincarnations to do. All right, but you wouldn't be doing it against those who got it. I tell you that for sure. Chronology of gods. Let me see chronology of. See something. Find something else for you guys before I get out here. Chronology of Odds, odds. Um, mhm. I had a whole list of all the gods that came before the Christian God, but I can't find it right now. But I had at least a whole list of 6 or 5 civilizations. I'm talking about hundreds and like a few thousand years older than the Christian God before the Christian Lord and Jehovah was created. So how are you gonna tell me? How are you gonna tell me yours is the oldest? How are you gonna tell me yours is the truth? Somebody let it make sense to me. Don't be afraid to challenge and seek truth. Even in the Bible, it says, "Seek and ye shall find." Man, that's why so many people are lost right now. That's why there's so much killing in the world. You know what I'm saying? Because people, I don't get it, man. I don't get it. And if the chosen people that Lord God chose, and I'm showing you the deception and the fraud and the lie. Oh, no doubt, Mr. G1. You know what I mean? Because you see, we have to do away with the old thinking. You see what I'm saying? And see things for the truth for what they are. That's the problem. Because people were blinded. And it's okay. I'm not mad at y'all. Because that was the time it was supposed to happen. You were supposed to go into a deep sleep. Okay, that's why I give you all this information. I give you different perspective. I give it to you from the Nag Hammadi. I give it to you from the Gospel of John, which is in the Nag Hammadi. I give it to you from the Epic of Gilgamesh. I give it to you from the Enuma Elish. I'm giving it to you from all different perspectives, and I'm not shying away from the Bible. No, I like reading the Bible because I know the truth. Even Revelation, all of Revelation is symbolic. It's allegory. It's allegory, man. Okay. When they're talking about the dragons and all that and the beast, they're talking about the first Babylon. And then the dragon gave its power to the beast. They're talking about Babylon. And then it gave it to the other beast. They're talking about the second Babylon, which is the United States. All that stuff is allegory, man. It's allegory. Oh, and by the way, and the mark of the beast. Let me just show y'all what that is. Let me break it down to y'all. Let me break it down to y'all, man. Like, y'all stop it, man. Stop. Stop the nonsense. The mark of the beast it's a man, but it's a system. Okay? Let me show it to you right now. Let me show it to you right now. I'm gonna break it down to you right now. Okay? Here we go. Mark of the beast. Now go look up what's on the Pope's hat. What's on the Pope hat? Vicarious Filii Dei. Okay? Vicarious Filii Dei. When you take the Roman numerals, okay, V is 5, I is 1, C is 100, A is 0, R is 0, I is 1, U is 5, S equals 0. When you add that up, it comes up to 112. Then you have Phi, F equals 0, I equal 1, L equal 50, I equal 1, I equal 1. Add that up, that's 53. Day or die or D, whatever you pronounce that, die, I think. D equals 50. E equals 0. 1 equals 1. That's 501 when you add that up. Now, add up 112, 53, 501. What do you get? 666. So that's the number of the man. Who do you think the head of the beast is? The Pope. And guess who gave y'all Judaism, Islam, and all the Abrahamic religions? The Pope, the Vatican. You see what I'm saying? Like I said, man, don't play with me, man. Don't play with me. And they're talking about we are 666. No, we are not 666. 666. The six is the ether beings. We are 999. The nine ether beings. Flip that over, and that's the truth. All right? That's the Antichrist right there, the 666. And when you flip it over, you get the real Christ. I don't think y'all ready for me, son. I don't think y'all ready for me, man. I don't think y'all ready for me. I'm too deep with it. But some of you are ready. That's why I'm here giving it to you. You see what I'm saying? That's why they that's why they got the Pope breaking bread and y'all Negroes bowing to the Pope, and yes, he's the connection between you and God. No, man, which God? Which God? Which God? He ain't the connection to me and no supreme creator of the universe. I'll tell you that much. Okay. My brothers and sisters, y'all really want to know the truth, man? Here's the truth. All this whole God stuff was made up. All of it. Because first of all God means is to evoke. So if all God means to evoke, then it was only Christians who came up with this God thing. Because what did they do? They went around the world before they wrote their Bible. They went around the world. Okay. Remember, the first King James Version came up, the version 1611. But before that, they had one, I think, at 15 something, because King James actually got the Bible from from what's his name? Shakespeare. Okay, Shakespeare was the one who actually wrote one of the Bibles that he took. And then what King James did, King James took the version of that and King James authorized it. You see what I'm saying? So with that being said, these people went around the world, you know, taking indigenous people's concept of God, okay, or the supreme being, whatever you want to call it. And they just found a word that has no origin of it's of uncertain origin. Okay. And all it means is to evoke. If y'all, I don't want people to believe anything I say. I'm going to show it to you right now. Don't believe anything I say. Etymology is only a Christian word that they made up. Let's look at etymology of God. I know I'm scaring some of y'all because y'all are getting scared right now. I know. And it's okay. It's all right because the truth is scary. Because when you have to let go of all this indoctrination, it's scary. I'm telling you, it is. Let's go look at the etymology of God. Okay. So let's get into this. God, Old English, supreme being, deity, the God of the Christian God. All right. Image of God, God-like person. That's all God means. It is a Christian thing, a supreme being of the Christians' deity. In other words, they made that up. Okay. But let us go look at the root of the word, where it came from. Okay. Image of a God. That's also God. God-like person. That's also God. Right? It says Old Frisian Dutch God, Old High German Gott, G-O, Gott. That's where, I'm giving you the foundation of where it came from. German Gott, Old News Ghoul, Gothic, Goap, which is what? Of an uncertain origin. So where did they get that word from to sell you that that's what it is? My brothers and sisters, that stuff is made up. Because when they came into the Americas, even our ancestors didn't want to use the word God, so they wanted to use Great Spirit instead. Because why? They figured God wasn't good enough. That word wasn't good enough to describe something that created the entire universe, something that's invincible, something that's, you cannot describe. They didn't want to use the word God. So they decided to say Great Spirit instead, which I think is more appropriate than God. Okay? But let us read some more. It's on what? Of uncertain origin. From pi, which is gut, that which is what? Invoked. Source of old church Slavic to call Sanskrit, invoked, to call, invoke the notion of what? Be divine entity summoned to what? A sacrifice. So that's what our ancestors were doing. They were invoking spirits and they were doing sacrifices. So these colonizers came up with one word to summarize all what these indigenous people was doing. Let's read a little more if you don't think I don't know what I'm talking about. What does it say? But trace it to pi, gu to, poured from root, gu to what? Pour libation. What was indigenous people doing when they were evoking their ancestor spirits? They were pouring libations. Can y'all really handle the truth? I don't think y'all ready. The majority of you ain't ready for the truth. You like to say, well, let's keep it real. Well, I'm keeping it real. Okay. Source of Greek kain, to pour. Also in the phrase kut, Gaia, poured, earth, referring to what? Burial mounds. Okay. Burial mounds. Given the Greek facts, the Germanic form may have referred in the first instance to spirit imminent in what? In a burial mound. That's where your word God came from. That's the root of it. Because what they used to do, indigenous people all around the world, especially in the Americas, we had a lot of our pyramids they call mounds. What our ancestors used to do. They even had doors in those pyramids and those mounds where they would go in, they would put their ancestors, and they would go pour libations. They would go invoke their spirits. Okay? That's what that means. It also says what? See Zeus. In the early case, not related to good, because God was not related to good. Oh, okay. Like I said, y'all don't want to read for yourself, but let's read some more because Chief don't know what he's talking about. Originally, a netter noun in Germanic, the gender shifted from what? Masculine after the coming of Christianity, because it was always feminine for all you brainwashed people. That's why it took you back to Inanna. That's why that's why the world is so jacked up right now. And y'all so out of balance because you took away all the female deities. But yet still, every man is coming through a woman. Even Jesus that they gave you in the Bible came through a woman. Hmm? I'm gonna read this again. Originally, a nurture or netter, noun in Germanic. The gender shifted to what? Masculine after what? The coming of Christianity. So let me ask you, before the coming of Christianity, what it was? They were serving female deities. Okay. It says Old English God probably was closer in sense to Latin numen. A better word to translate Dios might have been Proto-Germanic ansors, but this was used only of the highest deities in the German religion. So even in the German religion, they didn't even want to use God. They were using ansors because it was a higher name for a higher deity and not God. Okay? And not of the foreign gods. It was local gods. And it was never used what? Of Christianity, a Christian God. Stop, man. Because this is just, I tell people, man, you know, it's sad, man. It's sad. And look, they're just giving you a duality, a word in duality. That's what they're giving you. Let us look at this word right here. Man, I thought I was sharing this, man. I thought I was sharing this. No, Chief, you got to go back. I thought I was sharing it. What's going on? I want you to see what I'm sharing, man. I have to be redundant here now because I thought I was sharing it. Okay, here we go. Read it for yourself. Read it for yourself. The etymology of God. Let's do it again because that's how they brainwash you by giving you the same thing, redundancy, brainwashing you with the same information since you was a baby, since you was a little child. Let's go to church. Oh, that's what the Bible said. Don't question it because that's what God said. Well, which God are you talking about? What does God mean? Oh, created this the one that created Earth, the universe. Oh, really? Show me that in the etymology of the word God. Show me that. Because it says what? It is only the supreme deity of the Christian God, image of God, image of God, godlike person. All right. Then we go all the way down from we going back to the origin of the word now. It says what? Gothic got, which is of uncertain origin, perhaps from pi got, that is which invoked. Okay. To call on, invoke. To call on, invoke. The notion could be of divine, or what? Could be divine entity summoned to a sacrifice. So, like I said earlier, that's what these people did. They went around indigenous cultures, Africa, Asia, and America. Okay. And people were pouring libations. People were making sacrifices to their ancestors. They were invoking the spirit of their ancestors. Let's read a little further again. But some trace it back to what? Poured or to pour a libation. And that's what they were doing. Okay, poured libation to good Gaia earth, poured earth, referring to burial what? Mounds. Where the mounds are at? In the Americas? Okay. Given the Greek facts, the Germanic form may have referred in the first instance to the spirit imminent in the what? Burial mound. So people around, indigenous people around the world, like I said before, they would pay homage and invoke the spirits of. It's like mummification they used to do in Egypt. They would take their elders, mummify them, put them in mounds or put them in the temple, and then they would go pour libations and invoke their spirits. Okay? Bring them sacrifices. That's what the word God means. So when I tell y'all keep using the word God, God is not a person or a thing. God means to evoke. So therefore, when you say God, you are invoking a spirit, but you don't know what spirit you're invoking. That's why it's not working for you, my people. I know y'all nervous. Oh, well, we are gods and all that. No, I know they got us thinking that's what it is. No, no, we're not. I mean, I know I've said it because that's what people are saying, but I'm giving you the facts. Okay. And guess what? In either case, it was not related to good. Was not really, there was no coherence between God and good. That's something they made up. That's why you cannot say God is good all the time and all the time God is good. Why? Because the Lord God in the Bible is not good all the time. So that's a lie. That's why it was not associated with good. Okay. And then the popular etymology has long derived God from good. Okay. Um, and that's popular etymology, right? Has long derived. That's what they came up with. But a comparison of the forms shows this to be what? In error. Moreover, the notion of goodness is not conspicuous in the heathen conception of deity. And in good itself, the ethical sense is comparatively late. So essentially, what they're saying is, you know, the comparing God to good was something that came late. You feel me? Man, y'all better wake up, man. Originally, what did it mean? A nature, um, um, noun in Germanic. The gender shifted what? To masculine after the coming of the Christian era. So before the Christian era, guess what they were serving? Their God, they didn't have gods, they had goddesses. Or they, in fact, they wasn't even using that name. But the point is they were worshiping female deities because it was feminine deities, not female. Okay, feminine deities of a feminine characteristic. Old English, God probably was closer in sense to Latin "mumen," a better word to translate Dios. All right, might have been Proto-Germanic "anzos," but this was used only of the highest deities in Germanic religion and not of foreign gods. So therefore, it was localized, and therefore foreign gods, plural, meaning that people were worshiping different gods. How is that right now? They want to tell you today there's only one. It's a lie. Okay. And it was never used of Christian God, never used as a Christian God. It survived English mainly in the personal names beginning in Oz. All right. So here we go, man. Give y'all this again. So anyway, what time is it? 3:08. I'm about to conclude here for now. About to get out of here. My brothers and sisters, like I said, man, all I could do is just give you the truth. That's all. I know it's late and I'm giving you a lot to think about before you close your eyes. But if I were you, I would go ahead and just lay my head down and just ask the great spirit, you know, that intelligence, In fact, you know what? I'm gonna even keep it more real with y'all. I'm gonna even keep it more real with y'all. Let me show y'all something real quick. They gave you a concept. They came up with a concept of a word that explains duality. That's all they gave you. That's all they gave you, man. Let me see which one I'm sharing. I want to share, not that. That's not the one I want to share. I already shared this. I want to share this one. Let me explain something to y'all. I'm gonna give you two more things, and I'm gonna get out of here. Where it's at? Not this. That's not it. Where is it at? Here we go. They gave you. They gave you a concept of duality in one word. Okay, the concept of duality in one word. Let me show it to you real quick. They gave you God, God, and they gave you dog. God is dog backwards. So since you're living in a world that's flipped upside down, you have no idea you're worshiping a dog. You don't understand that. Okay, you're worshiping the God of the Canaanites. Okay, dogs, canines. All right, we are not gods and goddesses. I'm just keeping it real with y'all. I know I'm giving y'all a lot to ponder on. Okay, truth is stranger than fiction. Okay, truth is stranger than fiction. Don't let these people fool you, man. I mean, like I said, yes, I've said it before and all that because you're talking to people, you want them to understand what you're saying. But when you got to speak the truth, you got to speak the truth. That's why. That's why the version of the male version is dog God, right? And the female version is goddess bitch, a female dog. Why do you think our men are calling our women female dogs? See, y'all don't get it, and they're cool with it because they promote it in songs. Because why? The god of the Canaanites, they're the ones promoting all this. Because why? It's glorifying their God. You did. Okay. Now I'm gonna give you I'm gonna give you that jewel before I shut it down right now. Let me give you another piece of jewel before I get out of here. You want to know the truth? Like I'm always giving it to you. This is the truth. I've said it before, but I feel it's important, or it's fitting or benefiting to add that because I've given you so much in this context. The truth is this: you, I, we, they're all there is. Okay. If we were, if we had the skill, okay, which we had it in the past, right? If we were able to trace our spiritual and big umbilical cord, because you had two umbilical cords, right? You had you had one umbilical cord, and then once your parents. So this is how it happens. Your parents, they meet up in the spiritual realm, okay, even before they meet in the physical realm, because everything happens spirit, mental slash spirit slash heavenly realm before it happened in the flesh. So what you do is this: you as the child, okay, you set everything up. Like I told y'all before, your parents wasn't the one that came together by themselves. All right. Well, your father saw your mother and he's like, yo, man, listen, man, she got a fatty. I'm gonna tap that. No. You as the child, you were the one who set that up. Okay. You set that up in the spiritual realm. You decided what characteristics you're going to have from your mother. You decided what characteristics you're going to have from your father. You decided all of that. Once you set that up, those three souls came together and they signed the covenant. Okay, you know what? The mother said, I'm going to be the portal. The father said, I'm going to be the seed. Okay. And by the way, just in case y'all didn't know, the father is the one that determined the child. All right. Just so y'all know. Okay. The mother is only the vehicle. The mother is only the portal. The father is the one that has the child. All right. So let's just get that out of the way. All right. So with that being said, the father comes through the mother because the mother is the portal. So the child sets all that up. And then 3 months, it takes 3 months to set all that up. After it's set up, the immaculate conception takes place. All right. And then it takes 3 months within the spiritual realm to get acclimated to the what you call the path it has to travel. That's why the sperm, it travels and shoots to the egg, but it happens in the spiritual realm first. So you have the spiritual consemination, or what we call conception, pardon me, what we call the immaculate conception. Everybody's an immaculate conception, everybody, not just not just Jesus. Jesus is just an example of, okay, the allegorical Jesus, okay? So he wasn't real. The only thing real is you. You dig? So with that, whether it was Yeshua or not, they were not real people in the sense of what you think. Okay. So with that being said, the three, it happens, the spiritual realm, the immaculate conception. After it happens in the spiritual realm, then it takes 3 months to mature. So by the time you get into the sperm come now for the physical aspect, you have over how many trillions and trillions of sperm shooting, racing towards that one egg. Okay. So that's how special you are, because you are in the Father and you're going into to meet, the ovum, or the part of the mother that's been implanted. Okay. So once that connection happens, automatically life in the physical realm already exists. Okay. Because it had already existed in the spiritual. So there's no such thing, oh, well, it's not a baby yet, and that, no. And then they want you to kill your baby. No, man. All right. The baby exists because it was already 3 months already alive in the spiritual realm. And the spiritual is more important than the physical. So obviously the baby is alive. So by the time you hit, the womb, you're in the mother, you're already 3 months old. And then you another 9 months in the womb. So by the time you're born, you're actually a year old. See, people don't know that. You did. You feel me? You're actually 1 year. So everybody's actually a year older than they think they are. Okay. So what you call in your birthday is not your birthday, it's your arrival date. But you have 2 birth dates. Okay. You have your spiritual birthday, all right, which is the Immaculate Conception. And then you have the physical one, which is when the sperm made the egg. That's your that's your earth. That's your solar return. Because you're coming now with the spark of the soul, which is the sperm. It has the light in it. That's why it looks, the head, it looks like a little light bulb. Okay. So now that's your earthly birth, not your arrival. Your arrival is after the 9 months. Now, why is all this important? I'm saying this to prove my point, which is facts, that if we were able to trace our umbilical cord, so we had a spiritual umbilical cord, all right? And then because we had a spiritual umbilical cord that's connected us to everything in the spirit, then it happens in the flesh as well. But the physical umbilical cord, they cut it too soon. All right. They're supposed to give you enough time as a baby to breathe and get accustomed to the third dimensional realm and let it drop off by itself. It's supposed to drop off by itself. Okay. So when they cut the umbilical cord too soon, the baby, the baby feel a jolt. okay, a jolt, because it's cut off from its spiritual parents too soon. So by the time they do that, they have already taken away your psychic abilities, your connection to the spiritual realm. Okay, your clairvoyance, they've taken almost half of that away from you. But even so, the baby is still connected until they're 7. It's only when they're 7 they start losing it completely. Well, not completely, but a whole lot more. Okay, that's why you could ask children at the age, anytime before 7, anytime you ask them anything, they'll always tell you the truth because they cannot lie unless you teach them that. Okay, so if you are able to trace back your your what I call your spiritual umbilical cord all the way back from your mother, your father, her mother, her father, his father. I'm talking about to your great, 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 going back into perpetuity. Guess what you're gonna find? You are still going to find your great great grandmother and your great great. You're not gonna find no gods. You're gonna find people who look just like you, whether it's in the flesh or in the spirit. Okay, that whole God thing is made up. The only thing you have is ancestors, facts over feelings. Now, I'm not sure if y'all ready for this, but I have to give it to you before I shut it down. All that other stuff is made up. Okay? Well, Chief, who created the universe? Your ancestors? Of course, obviously not in the flesh. You see what I'm saying? So as above, so is below. You see, y'all got these people messing with y'all heads, man, and your spirit and your soul. That's why it says, honor your mother and fathers. Yes, we are supposed to honor them. We are supposed to glorify them. But you are not glorifying them. You're glorifying something Rome gave you. That's glorifying their ancestors. You feel me? So I just had to give y'all that before I go, man. Like I said, it's some scary stuff, but the truth is scary. But once you tap into the truth and you just allow the truth to be, then you would have no reason to be afraid. What are you afraid of? You know, they give you something in the book and say fear, fear. All through that book in the Old Testament is fear, fear, fear. If you're not afraid, you're going to die. If you're not afraid, if you don't do this, you're going to go to an eternal burning hell of fire. All that stuff is made up, man, so that they could control you and control your mind. That's all it is. You dig? That's all it is. You know, be poor here, be broke here, live your worst life here. Okay? Give it all to give you just give it all to Jesus. And then when you get in heaven, he'll give you eternal life. But yet still he want everything here right and now. That doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense, man. So what was your purpose of coming here in the first place? To struggle, to suffer, just so you could not suffer when you die? I mean, people don't think for themselves. They don't think for themselves. I came here to live my best life. And the bottom line is, because these people are worshiping these false gods in the Bible, the Lord God and all that in the Bible is evil and false. They have control over the world. But trust me, all that's going to change soon. I promise you. That's what all this is going. All what you see happening right now, that's what this is about, the reset. Okay? The reset. You're going to see a new united, you're going to see a new government in the United States, which is not the United States corporation. You're going to see an organic government, which is a republic. That's going to happen. You're going to see around the world, all over the world, you're going to see that they're going to go back to the gold standard, because in the Bible, The lawful money is gold and silver. You see, all that stuff is already pre-planned. That's man that put that together, but it has spiritual relevance to it. You see what I'm saying? It has spiritual relevance. So they have to go back to the gold standard. Okay, you remember years ago I told you guys about Nasera Jacera? Guess what? All that stuff have to come into play. And everybody have to start off with a clean slate, because why? You have two coming again, it's allegory. You have two coming of the Christ. You had the first one, I broke that down, told you what it meant, told you what the second one meant. But the physical, remember, if Christ died for your sins and all your debts are forgiven, what is debt? Debt is sin. All right. But these people, they did not honor the death of Jesus. They did not honor it, because if they had honored it, you wouldn't be in debt. I'm giving y'all the real source. Okay. It's all allegory. It wasn't real. Okay. It wasn't real, like meaning that it wasn't no man that came from the sky and all that. That's a bunch of BS. Okay. It's all commercial. Okay. So because Jesus died for the sins, they were supposed to honor that. And you was not supposed to be in debt. That's why they had given you HR 92. I think it's HR 92 or HR 172, something like that. But anyway, it was in 1933 when Roosevelt took the gold and silver. He took the lawful money of the book of laws, the Bible. Okay. And he couldn't just take it. Okay. So they had to give you something. So that's why they said, hey, you know what? Since we take away the people's soul, their money, their life, okay, we have to give them a solution. So the solution was Jesus had to come and die for your sins, which was that resolution, meaning that you get to discharge all your debt, because all your debt was already paid. But they did not honor the death of Jesus, so therefore they did not honor the I think it was H92 or H93. They did not honor that, because you were not supposed to be paying any bills. But now, because of the second coming of the Christ, I'm giving it to you. I'm giving y'all the meaning of all this. Because of the second coming of the Christ, they have to honor it. So now what's going to happen is they have to form a new government. So they have to be a new covenant. Will you think you're really seeing Biden in the White House? Biden is not in the White House, man. Okay. The good side of the military is the one that's running the United States right now. You see, y'all don't even know that, because they have to clean house. Okay. They have to clean house. Okay. So they have to do the reset. Gold is coming back. The banks, all that stuff they have to, get rid of the paper money. That's why I am buying gold and silver, and I'm getting rid of all this paper money. I'm just holding the bare minimum that I could do what I got to do. Okay. So that's what I'm doing. Anyway, so things will get worse before it get better. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm buying a lot of canned goods, canned stuff. Okay. So when all that happens, all right, people will be wilding out. Mark my words, all that stuff is going to be happening, but it's going to be for the better, because you have two branches of the military, just like how you have good and evil. Okay. You have the white hats and the black hats. Y'all don't believe me? Go do your research. I'm telling you, I'm giving you facts that I think y'all are ready for. Okay. So the white hats is the one that put Trump in office. Y'all didn't know. Y'all don't know what Trump means. Trump means the 50th. Trump was the 50th year of the Jubilee, when the people were supposed to get back the land, but y'all didn't know that. Okay. Y'all didn't know that. You feel me? But anyway, bottom line is this. Biden is not the one in office right now. You think he is, but when Biden do his talks, it's actually on a green screen. He's not in the White House. All right. Secondly, what they're going to do is, remember I told y'all again, like I said about Nasera Jacera years ago, when they were supposed to, clear all your student loans, your mortgages, all that stuff will be coming into play, and everybody will get a clean slate. So basically, everybody that they took their birth certificate and they created the trust, they are going to compensate everybody back for all that was stolen from them. And that's why you see a few years ago, when Trump came into office, he signed executive orders where people they were taking down the cabal. Okay, people that were doing sex trafficking, pedophilia, they were cleaning up. But people are so caught up in the emotions, they don't know what's going on. Okay, but y'all gonna learn. Okay, but it's gonna take some time, but all that's is gonna happen. Remember, I told y'all about the basic income. Okay, the universal, the UBI, that's gonna be coming too, where everybody's gonna be working less hours. So they'll tell you, well, okay, you know what? Instead of 40 hours, because man was not meant to work. Okay, that's why in Genesis chapter 1, everything was bountiful. There was nobody to till the land. It was only in Genesis 2 they created the slave. It had nothing to do with a man, a God made from dust. No, it was all commercial. I'm giving y'all the real allegory of the Bible, my people. I'm giving y'all the real allegory of the Bible. That's when they created workers, slaves, to till the ground, work for compensation. Okay. And then when it was all said and done, that's when man started to call on the name of the Lord. In other words, they started to call the government their gods. I'm giving y'all, okay, the symbolic meaning of all of that when it comes to now what within law and commerce. Okay. So now all that stuff have to be given back to the people. Why? Because all that stuff had took place during what's called the moon cycle, the shadow cycle, where everything was done in the dark. That's what moon means. How do you think the moon gets light? It gets its light from the sun. So therefore it's a shadow. So everything was done in the dark. But now we are in a lunar cycle. So things has to be done in the light. That's why everybody's waking up and people are talking about the truth and they're not afraid. Why? Because they have been bitten, or the light. They're getting, bits and pieces of the light. Some are getting it more than others. But everybody will get it eventually, sooner or later. Those who will not get it, they're not able to stand it, they gotta go. Because only truth will reign. Okay? All the rapping you hear on TV with the killer N and killer this and the B and the ho and all that stuff has to stop, because they will not allow it on the radios no more. All the media that you see right there, the media, remember I tell you what media means? Media means it's also Greek. Media is Medea is a Greek god. Okay. So that type of media you see, all that stuff is going to shut down, because they won't be able to tell no lies on the TV no more. They have to tell the truth. The news would have to report the truth. All that stuff is going to change, because we are preparing ourselves to step into the age of Capricorn. Remember what I told you what Capricorn was? I've been doing this for over almost 15, 20 years on YouTube, man. The age of Capricorn means that we are creating the new heaven on earth. This earth is not going anywhere. Okay. When the Bible speaks of the ending of the world or earth, whatever, they're talking about eras and ages. They're talking about, systems. That's what they're talking about. Just like the beast is a system. Just like the dragon is a system. The dragon gave the beast its power, basically a handover of power over the people. That's all it means. That's all it means. So just step into the truth. There's nothing to be afraid of, my brothers and sisters. Nothing. We're gonna be all right. That's why you see I don't stress things. And all these people who think they know what they're talking about, they have no idea what they're talking about. They're waiting on somebody to come save them. We saving ourselves, because we are our saviors. But you have the good and the bad. So, the good side of the military is the one that's really standing up. But people don't know, but all that stuff will come to play. All right. So what's going to happen is they're going to create another situation where people may have to stay home, because certain things have to happen, because they don't want people all over the place. All right. So all that stuff is transitioning right now. It's taking place behind the scenes. So just wanted to give y'all some information, man. Open up your minds. let y'all know what's happening right now. That's all. Okay. So I hope you found some value in all this. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Mr. G1. The truth is for everyone, but everyone isn't for the truth. That's facts. That's facts. And that's why I said I wish, more like-minded people, such as myself and such of y'all, I'm saying that know the truth. I wish we could have just came together and just, even if it's 20 acres, man, what I mean, build a little community. We could do that. You feel me? We could do that. Nobody could stop us from doing that. You did. Nobody could stop us from doing that. We could do it. But everybody's always on this individual BS. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I just say, you know what, man, I just gotta teach and just leave it alone, because I've been doing this, like I said, man, this whole nation building thing for over 10 years. And everybody's just on this individual thing, all this little tribal things, this little Cherokee and Choctaw and what you call it, Kitowa and all that stuff is obsolete. We're not living in those days and age. Okay. What people don't realize is Noah was the sixth Adam. Okay. And Noah had to create a new race for all you Israelites and all you Hebrews. Noah was an albino. Okay. And just for the record, y'all keep talking about, albino is leprosy. That's not true. Leprosy is a disease. Albinism is not a disease. Albinism or albinism is a lack in pigmentation, meaning that a lack of a highly rich melanin person. Okay, so stop being disrespectful. To because albinos, the original ones, are actually Negroes as well. Okay, they are our people, right? But they had to go through that deficiency in order for the gene to create the pale race. You did, but that gene did not come, or that bloodline did not come from the American Aborigines. That came from the Black Asiatics. Okay, so those are the children, because the pale man had to come from that side. You did. So albino is not leprosy. Okay, for all you ignorant fools out here, preaching that nonsense. You did. Leprosy is a disease of a rough, scaly, boil or sore that comes on your skin. Anybody could get leprosy. It is not just pale people. Okay, for you ignorant people out there. See, like I said, I'm gonna debunk all the lies y'all telling. All the lies you're telling, I'm gonna debunk them with your hatred and your hateful God. Okay, I'm gonna debunk all of that. Y'all so anxious to call the so-called white man the devil, but he came from you. So who's the first devil? See, y'all gotta stop being ignorant. You gotta stop being hypocrites. Stop being hypocrites. Stop it. Because if you go read the book of Enoch, okay, Noah is a pale man. So if Noah is a pale man, how come Noah is your father? So y'all have no idea what you're talking about. You think that book is yours. It's not yours. It's not. That's why you're not the one benefiting from it, because it's not your scripture. It's not your script. That's what a scripture is. Okay, it's a script. It's not your script. All right, your script was put to the side. Your script came. All right, and from your script, okay, there was a rapture. You did. A rapture, a rape-ture. All right. Like I said, man, y'all gonna learn. So you, like I said, it's all allegory. So you don't realize what happened. You have no idea. You had to give your birthright to your children. Okay? Because it was their time to rule. But you don't get it. So, but all the truth will come to light, and you'll see Chief knew what he was talking about. Just wait and see. Said, what about the Melanesians of the Solomon Islands? Are one of the few groups with natural blonde hair and dark skin. Well, those children, yes, I mean they have, but you have different type of ether as well, right? You have 9 ether, you have 8 ether, you have 7 ether, and you have 6 ether. All right. So those, I think they're somewhere in between. Okay. Somewhere in between. 9 ether beings are not hairy beings. Okay. 9 ether beings have no hairs on the body. Okay. The original 9 ether beings have no hair on their body. And they have kinky, woolly hair. Okay. So you could still be what they call a Negro and not be a 9 ether being. You feel me? So the truth of the matter is, even pale people, are actually Negroes. They just colorless Negroes. You see what I'm saying? They're just colorless Negroes because you are who your mother and father are. So if they came from those beings that was, those black people that was in Asia, the black Asiatics, like, the Moors and, those Hebrews and those Jews, guess what? They are their children. They are their children. So they are Negroes. They are just colorless Negroes. They are bleached out Negroes. They are pale Negroes. Okay. That's all. So people have to come and show me something different. Because you see, like I said, I use wisdom, I use discernment. I speak from a place of intelligence. Because how can you claim or profess somebody is a devil, but yet still you gave birth to that devil? So what does that make you? The original devil. So the original devil is the black man. You did. Just like how the original so-called God is the black man. So not every pale individual is the devil, just like how not how the same way, like not every so-called black man is the devil. You see what I'm saying? So people don't realize that, you know, people in general, people's skin doesn't make them evil. All right. So that's just ignorance talking, ignorance and people who are full of hate. People's skin doesn't make them evil. What's in your heart makes you evil. What you do, your actions make you evil. Okay. So you had some of their children, because remember, there's always good and bad. It's duality. That's why you had Cain and Abel. That's why you had Jacob and Esau. That's why you always have duality, David and Goliath, right? So even when they created their children, some of them got some of the good light in them, and others took the evil. So you still, listen, you know how many times pale people have looked out for me when nobody that looked like me did? Nobody. And I've told that story before. I remember years ago when I was doing videos, and I broke my leg. Okay. And I was heavy into the videos on YouTube. I'm talking about like what, 14, 15 years ago. And I broke my instep, my right instep. And I came on YouTube. Everybody was seeing my journey. I was on camera all the time. And I told my people, man, People who look like me. They saw everything that happened. I was down for 6 months. I had a little, I think it was GoFundMe at that time. You know what? Let me tell you something. Do you know it seemed like I had to be begging people who look like me, although I was doing videos every day, teaching and teaching. I would read books. I'm talking about my eyes would be red shut. Read books for 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10 hours a day so I could teach a lesson the next day. And do you know these people that look like me? It seemed like I was begging them to look out for me. I broke my leg, I couldn't work. And I was doing construction at that time. So it's not like I was never a lazy person. I would do videos showing them that I'm working construction and doing demolition and all that. Do you know it was a Caucasian woman, okay, that hit me up on Facebook in my inbox? Me and this woman, we never really spoke. When I put posts, she would like the post or whatever the case is. Do you know this woman, a woman from California? She sent me an inbox, and that time everybody was calling me Lex. She said, Lex, I know you don't know me, I don't know you, but you're a good person. I want to help out. How can I send you, some money? I'm thinking the lady was gonna send me, $50, $20. She sent me $500. A Caucasian woman. But I have to be begging people who look like me. The same one I was giving information every single day. Hmm? And then a few weeks later, she sent me another 500. Hmm? And then one of my Italian friends gave me $2,000. But people who look like me, I was begging for $1. So I tell people I don't play these stupid games y'all play, man. I see people for who they are. I don't care what complexion you have. I don't care what skin you're in. I look at your nature. I look at your heart. I look at your actions. Not because you could do things for me. No, that's not what it was about. But because they realize I'm always giving, I'm teaching, and always giving my all on the internet. They looked out for me. And my own people did not look out for me. You see what I'm saying? So I don't play these games that people play. Why you think it's been years since I put my WhatsApp down, not WhatsApp, my Cash App down on my YouTube videos? Because I don't want to beg Negroes for nothing. Because Negroes always want to throw something back in your face. So I give you $5, I give you $1. I want nothing from nobody. But yet still, I'm still giving. I'm always giving. I do. And I don't have to say what I do because I'm not looking for praise. You see what I'm saying? I'm always on Facebook scoping. You know what I mean? I may not have everything right now, and I'm talking about tangibly, but I'm very rich. I'm very rich in my ancestors' eyes. So they always look out for me. You feel me? And I see people on Facebook struggling sometimes. Sometimes I could do, sometimes I can't. Guess what I do? I see people on their posts talking about, oh, we praying for you, we praying for you. Get the hell out of here. That shit don't work. Guess what I do? I go in their inbox. Hey, sis. Hey, bro. You know what? I saw your post. I can't do a whole lot, but what's your Cash App? I send a little 50. I send a little 100. You know what I'm saying? So I'm always highly favored. Always highly favored. That's why the universe and my ancestors will always look out for me. You did. You know what I mean? So Mr. G1 said, most people nowadays don't value intelligence. They rather break bread and spend money on token objects for false illusions. Oh, no doubt. Yep, no doubt. You feel me? So I'm not gonna call the names I did those things for. No, but I do it because I don't like to see people suffer. I don't like to see people struggle. I don't care who they are. I don't care what they look like. You dig? I don't care what they look like because it was people that didn't look like me that look out for me and picked me up when I was down. And the ones who look like me, nah, okay, they did not look out for me. And they were the ones I was teaching. My audience. What I was teaching was more for them. You dig? It was more for them because I was teaching at that time. I was teaching about law and legal and nation building at that time. All right. I wasn't really teaching about the Bible or nothing like that. Once in a while, I would talk about spirituality, you know, in terms of meditation and sun gazing. Like I was really talking about that a lot. But I'm talking about in terms of, what I do now, breaking down the Bible. That's not what I was doing. I was talking about law, nation building, sun gazing, and diet, how to eat properly. And I would give them the information, and it's like, yo, I have my cash app lookout. People thought like I was begging, I'm like, yo, I don't need nothing from y'all, man. Nothing. So I don't ask nobody for nothing, man. You feel me? But I still do, and I still give because I know my ancestors always look out for me. They always do because I'm highly favored. I will never want, I will never need. Okay. And I always leave my cup full, but at the same time, I leave my cup half empty because anyone who's in a full cup, that means you cannot receive anything else. You feel me? So it's a parable. You dig? You leave your cup full, but at the same time, you leave your cup empty. What does that mean? You leave it empty so that you always receive when it's time for your favor, but you leave it full because you don't want anything from anybody. How is that possible? Again, it's an allegory. You feel me? It's a parable. So all my needs and my wants, they're already met. They're already met. You dig? So that's why I encourage people, continue to do good and love. It's not how much you could give, but it's how you give. You feel me? You never know that $5, that $10 that you just give somebody because you saw a post. It don't have to be a whole lot, because sometimes you cannot give a whole lot, but you just give a little. You did, you know? Oh, no doubt, Mr. G1, no doubt. That's why I tell people, I give my all. You see what I'm saying? Like sometimes the giving doesn't necessarily have to be physical, you know? So when you're doing these things, I tell people it's beneficial. It's more beneficial to put goodness into the world than negativity. You don't see me posting songs calling all women bitches and hoes. I don't do that. You know what I mean? You don't see me out here talking, I'm gonna kill a nigga, I'm gonna do this, I don't do that. You don't go through all my posts. And it's not just now. I'm talking about years. You've never seen me post anything negative. I don't do that. You dig? Because I comprehend. I know what it is. I don't gossip. Like I said, I don't lie. I don't cheat. I don't do none of these things, man. Does it mean I'm perfect? Yes, I'm perfect imperfect because I'm still growing in my perfection. You feel me? But I was not born in sin. You did. I don't know where y'all got that from. All right. I was not born in sin. I'm not a sinner. I ain't none of that. Okay. I am who my ancestors made me. That's who I am. You did. So I'm growing in perfection. You see what I'm saying? I appreciate that, Mr. G1. No doubt, man. No doubt. Thank you. I appreciate that for the acknowledgement. So when people don't know your journey, they don't know what you've been through, you know. And no matter what you do in life, no matter where you go in life, people are always going to be jealous, envious, instead of complimenting. You know what I mean? That's because again, we live in a world of duality. And it's not that you're looking for acknowledgement, but I'm not looking for haters either. I'm just living my life in fulfillment. You see me? That's it. I don't stress nobody. It's going on 4 years now. I've been celibate. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm good. I'm good. You know? Do I miss the companionship of a woman sometimes? Yes, I do sometimes. But I know that I cannot just have anybody around me. You know what I mean? When it comes to, dealing with a woman, because it has to be a certain energy. It has to be a certain energy. She has to be a certain type of woman. And I'm not going to settle for anything. You see what I'm saying? I'm not going to do that. Because at this point, when you get to a certain point in your growth, of course you still want a beautiful woman, but it's more than just the physical aspect of the beauty. You see what I'm saying? Everybody's talking about, oh, well, you got to be beautiful on the inside. The outside doesn't matter. The outside does matter because I'm a man. I take care of myself. You see what I'm saying? So I want somebody who is, that has the same type of synergy. We could synergize. You know what I mean? And that's just where I'm at. And plus, because I'm doing so many other things, I'm not quite ready for that yet. So I haven't put it out in the universe. But I'm certainly sure when the time is ripe, not right, but ripe, like a fruit that get ripe. When the time is ripe, then I'll put it out there in the universe. I will get my pen and my pad and I'll write down exactly what her characteristics will be, what she look like, and where she should be in her spiritual growth. And it's gonna happen because we don't realize what we ask for, that's what we get when we are actually on the right frequency. Okay. But if you're not on the right frequency, when you ask for things, you don't get what you ask for because you're not on the right frequency. It's like going into a store. If you go into a store that only sell magazines, okay, and you go in there asking for pencils, then you will not get the pencils. If you continuously go into that store asking, well, when are you going to get pencils? When are you going to get erasers? Hey, listen, do you see what it says out here? Magazines only. It's the same thing with when people pray. They are praying to a deity that is not good all the time. So why are you asking that deity to be good to you? You see, people don't get that. You see what I'm saying? But they think that is the most or the supreme being. It's not. And as difficult as that is for people to come, a lot of people to comprehend that. I'm telling you the truth. You see what I'm saying? You have to know which door to go knock on. You can't just knock on a door, on a random door, because the answer that you may get or the person that's going to open the door is not the person you may be looking for. So that's what people are doing. They are blind praying. That's what it's called, blind praying. Well, again, I just made up something, but it's called blind praying. Praying and hoping that it falls on the right ear. You can't do that. You see, when I give my reference and I talk to my ancestors, I talk to my righteous ancestors. You see what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter which one it falls on. The key word is righteous. So I speak to the righteous ancestors. I speak to the righteous, spirits, the righteous energies. That's what I speak to. You feel me? You have to be specific. We live in a world of duality. You cannot just pray and think it's going to go to what you think you want it to go to. No. Because there's good ones and there's evil ones. You have to be specific. You have to talk to the good ones. Because the good ones don't want anything from you. They just want you to be good. But the evil ones, they want sacrifices. They want things in return. And people don't realize they are praying and asking the evil ones, and they are not giving the evil ones anything back. So that's it. Yeah, man. For real, for real. But things will change. Like I said, things are changing slowly but surely. And that's what all this reset is about. That's what it's about, man. It's not just a physical thing with money and, they going back to a gold standard. No, it is also a spiritual reset. Okay, it's also a spiritual reset. And the people again will be sovereign. Okay, the people will be sovereign once more because they'll be stepping more back into what's called the laws of nature. So all the police officers, all the courts, all that stuff will be different. All right, all that stuff will be different. And you know why it's happening? Because there are good people such as myself that are still out here. So the ancestors, they have mercy. Because trust me, too many are lost. Too many are lost. So, all right. Says, oh, absolutely. I agree. I agree. Every second is important. We have to comprehend that, right? I don't take any second for granted. Every second of the day, I'm doing something productive. Every second of the day. Because the reason why I do that is because I know that, even if time is an illusion, I how I get out of the illusion is I live in the present. And what's the present? Every millisecond, every second. You see what I'm saying? Anytime you start extending that time, then you start extending your time into the future and the past. I don't do that. So it's either I'm studying, either I'm meditating, either I'm resting. You know what I mean? Right now, I'm learning French. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm self-teaching myself French. Well, I could speak a little French, you know what I mean? But I'm improving my skill in French. When I'm done with that, I'm going to learn Russian. When I'm done with that, I'm going to learn Mandarin. So I'm always learning because I love to learn. And how do I start off learning? I tell myself I can. So I tell myself I can speak French. I am speaking French. So that means that I'm already professing that I could speak French. And you see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm doing, man. The present is the gift. Absolutely. That's why it's called a present. So all this Christmas and all this stuff is a facade. People miss the whole concept of a gift. The present is the gift. But people wait once a year, Christmas time, to open up their gifts. I don't do that. Okay, I don't do that. Every day is my gift. So when I rise, I'm thankful for that gift. First thing I do, I thank the ancestors and the universe for the continuation of life. I don't say another day because I don't deal with days. I'm not in a daze. I'm not in a coma. So I thank them for the continuation of life. I'm very specific with the words that I use. That's why when I speak to y'all, I refuse to say days. So I say if it's one, I say a 24-hour cycle. If it's two, two 24-hour cycles. So by now you should be used to the things that I'm saying. Because once again, I don't want to be in a daze. I don't want to put you in a daze. Okay. So if it's sleep out once in a while, that's fine, but I'm taking myself away from the spells. And I've been doing that for a very long time, but I'm still growing. So that's why it comes automatically. Even before I say it, sometimes I have to pause because I know I'm about to cast a spell. Okay. So, like I said, I'm going to Jamaica on the 30th. So I'm going for what? 24-hour, 8 cycles. So what would that be in your language? 8 days. And that's how I speak, you know? That's how I speak. I don't want to be in these days, man. I don't want to be in these people's days. No, that's their days is their time. You feel me? And their time is a trap. So I am in this world, but I'm not of this world. And there's a difference. And I know that. Okay. So you have to understand that, opposed to understand that. It's time to get away from under the knowledge and understand the knowledge, overstand the knowledge. That means that you're mastering it. You have to internalize it first, which is to understand. And once you understand it, then you could overstand it. But as long as you keep understanding, okay, you are casting the spell, meaning that you're underneath the information that you're trying to perceive or understand. You can't do that. It's harder to see from under. That's why people cannot challenge the people on top because they're under, they're beneath. It is only when you're at the table you're able to understand. And when you understand, you're able to overstand. You dig. But as long as you understand, you're under the table, you're under the stand, that means you're always the minority. So once again, it's the words. All right. We already went through the morning and the moaning and the bless and all that. We don't have to do that no more. But you know, just know these things. Just know these things. Okay. Just know these things, man. Once in a while, I go on an elevator, and then I go to the 13th floor. You feel me? They'll make you think there's no 13th floor, but I go to the 13th floor because they don't want you to experience certain things. See, all that stuff, man, it's just so much for people to learn, man. But anyway, I think I gave y'all enough. I'm getting a little tired, so I'm about to go get some rest. I bought me some fruits earlier. Yay. Hey, Annie and Wea, what it is, what it is. Greetings, greetings, greetings. Yeah, man. I mean, yes, the words, the words, remember, right? What they told you in the beginning was the word, right? So if in the beginning was the word, therefore, and how do you know the beginning was the word, right? Because when you speak, things happen. You don't have to, you don't have to get too deep, into, the knowledge to know that. So whatever you speak becomes your reality. That's just facts. So when you really look at it, who is the creator? You are, because you're creating from your words. You see what I'm saying? And people don't realize that. The problem is they see themselves as the flesh. So they have to see something outside of themselves that's greater than them. But the thing that you think is greater than you is actually in you. And it is you. That's why it's called I. And people always teach you, oh, you got to kill the ego. Why would I want to kill my I? I don't want to kill the ego. You have two egos. You have the higher ego and you have the lower ego. And the job is not to kill any of them. Okay? The job is to comprehend them, understand them, and work with them. And always make sure that the higher one is the one that's always prevalent. Okay? Meaning that the one that's always in charge. Okay? That's all it means. You know what I mean? So you don't want to kill your highest. You don't want to kill your highest ego. No, your highest ego is what connects you to what they call the Christ. You feel me? So why would you want to kill that? People are just teaching people a whole lot of false information, and people don't realize why they're not ascending because it's false information. False information. How come nobody teaches you that you have two egos? But they always tell you to kill the ego. Which one? You know? And those are the people that you go around they call themselves master teachers. Master teachers of of whom? You're not my master teacher. I have master teachers, my ancestors. Okay? And those are the ones I reach out to. So they give me information that people have never heard. And that's fine. Some things may sound familiar, but they give me clarification. Because when I approach them, I haven't abandoned them. I reach out to them. I thank them. I talk to them. Because they're still with me. I get that. So I'm not going to abandon them and speak to some foreign entity that these colonizers gave me. Why would I do that? I mean, where do they do that at? Like, does it make sense? Huh? And you're giving me something that you forced on my ancestors with a sword, with a gun. Okay? And if they didn't want to do it, then you would kill them. Then you would enslave them. And I'm talking about people who look just like us, because they were the ones who came here into the Americas. So who are the black devils? Who are the devils? All right then. The pale man was a victim like everybody else. It was only later the pale man was like, yo, we ain't trying to be at the bottom no more. We got a chance. All right. Our fathers give us a chance. Well, let us, let us take it. You can't, how you gonna hate the player? Hate the game, not the player. You see, people, I'm not here to tell people feel, any type of, what you call that, regret for anybody. But think about it this way. Let me give y'all the real drop on this, right? I told myself I was tired, but I'm getting back hype again. Check this out. Tell me, how would you feel if you came into a world, an earth, where there were people that don't look like you? Everybody was of a hue. And when I say hue, I'm talking about H-U-E. So they were humans, H-U-E-M-A-N. That's all that was living on earth for millions and millions and millions of years, right? And then all of a sudden, you show up from these humans, this H-U-E-M-A-N, and you look nothing like them, okay? And now you are a human, H-U-M-A-N, meaning that lacking color, okay? Colorless. You look nothing like your parents. And as soon as they see you, they kick you out like a fetus, like an aborted baby, because they were not used to seeing people like you that came from them. So they abandon you. But the more they abandon you, the more they give birth to you, not understanding why pale people are coming out from the leg of a heavy melanated woman. Hmm? And after that happens, after so many times, then they take you, they enslave you. Your own parents enslave you. Then they take you, then they put you in a certain part of the world by yourself with nobody to teach you how to bathe, how to wash yourself, how to cook, how to clean, hygiene, how to walk, how to talk. Hmm? And then after that, they came, they took your mothers and they left your fathers and your brothers. They slept with your mothers and your sisters and your aunts. They raped some of them, right? Then it was years and years later when once you started growing up, you started asking questions. And then eventually you went and got your fathers and your brothers. Now put yourself in these pale people's places. Now, I'm not here to make you feel any type of, you know, remorse for anybody. But you see, y'all don't know the truth about life. Y'all don't know the truth about history. Y'all don't know the truth about mankind and man and mankind. Y'all don't know about that. Okay? Pale people, a lot of pale people, they don't hate so-called black people because they hate black people just because of the color of their skin. No. They dislike a lot of black people because of their experience with people that look like us. Because they enslaved them. They enslaved them first. Okay, they bore them as children and they abandoned them. So yes, I would hate my parents too. You see, y'all don't realize that, man. It's an ancestral memory. So because all that happened, their parents who look like us felt remorse. Okay? So they realized that their children was getting stronger than them. So they said, listen, we're going to give y'all power, but you have to honor your mother and fathers. That is the deal. That is the covenant. Okay? You have to honor us, but we're going to give you the world because of what we did to you, of how you came here. Okay? So even when those black devils came into the Americas, they knew what they was coming for. Because guess what? At that time in Europe, they had the black plagues, they had the famine, because it was just so much corruption, homosexuality, and then, bestiality. You see what I'm saying? And they even thought that it was their gods that was bringing all that on them. I'm talking about all that stuff was happening in the 1600s. That's how I know the slave trade was a bunch of BS, because they just couldn't afford it. You see, they got y'all tricked because you don't know the story of Rome, not Rome, Europe. You see, I'm well studied. I don't just know the stories, the history of America. I know the history of Rome, of Europe and Asia and Africa. You see what I'm saying? And I know what was happening simultaneously. Why they tell you this whole slave trade was supposed to be happening. But wait, hold up, Chief. Well, if this was supposed to be happening in America, how come this was happening in Europe? They were having floods. I'm talking about over 100,000 people was dying a month. You see, y'all don't know their story. That's why there's no thing as white history. Because if you dig too, no, you don't have to dig too far to find the truth. That's how I know the whole African is a bunch of bullshit. But none of us, we did not come from Africa. Okay? Period. It's because of what they were going through. America was their saving grace. America was their promised land. America was the land that they promised, that Abraham promised, that the Lord promised Abraham. They made America the new Canaan, Canada. That's why they came to Canada first. And Canada was the new Canaan. You see, I'm teaching y'all truth, man. Y'all don't know. Okay? And Perry was the new Jerusalem. You see, y'all gonna learn, man. I'm telling y'all gonna learn. That was the promised land. Because of what they put their children through. So when they came into the Americas, they came with a spiritual purpose. First, they took away our gods. Well, I wouldn't say gods, our deities, right? They took that away from us and they forced their gods on us. That's number one. Okay, with the sword and the gun. Our ancestors fought back, but it was a spiritual thing. Okay? And then what happened? What did these black devils do? After they did that, they started bringing their pale children. Okay? And then all these wars and all this murder, all this pillage. And eventually, what was supposed to happen? It was supposed to be, okay, you know what? Let's see if we could work this out. We're going to set up, I gave y'all the story before. We're going to set up the Iroquois Confederacy was already set up. So what we're going to do is we're going to model our government from the Iroquois Confederacy plus what we had, but more so from the Iroquois Confederacy. So what did they do? The Iroquois Confederacy gave them the Constitution. In other words, they handed down the gift to them. So the deal was we're going to create the 13 colonies first. That was the Republic. So we broke bread with those black devils. We gave them our birthright through the Constitution. Okay? And then what they did now, those black devils, they took the 13 colonies, the Republic, and what they did now, they had to ratify things. They ratified the Constitution that we gave them, and then they gave it to their pale children. But what they did was they side with us first, right? So they made friends with us, then we were fighting them, right? Then they realized our children, not our children, their children was helping us fight them because their children knew exactly what they dealt with in Europe. You feel me? You see, y'all don't know the story, man. You don't know. So basically, the reason why the pale man got on top is because it was gifted to him. He did not fight for it. It was gifted to him. Because like I said, it was also a spiritual thing, because he was the last. So he had to be the first, finally be the first. I'm giving y'all some jewels, man. That's it. Okay. So Noah in the Bible was the sixth Adam. The sixth Adam is where that it had to break off, where the sixth ether being had to come from one of his seeds, which is Ham, the Canaanites. Okay, the six ether beings. Yes, Noah was still a man, a Negro, but he was an albino. All right, with woolly hair. And then now you have this. Now it's time where you're going to have this the seventh Adam. The seventh Adam is the new race that's going to be created in the Americas. You see, I'm giving y'all knowledge y'all never heard of, but I'm giving y'all truth. All right. So it was you had seven root races in the past. So now it's reversing. So Noah was the sixth. Then you're gonna have the seventh Adam, meaning that Adam it represents man or mankind. So the new race, okay, is gonna be in America. What's the new race? The new race is gonna be the culmination of the pale and the sixth ether and the nine ether. Okay, but the sixth ether cannot what you call cannot take away from the nine, because the nine is dominant. So therefore the nine will take away from the six, take away the shadow. So you will not have a shadow race no more. All right. So therefore we are grafting them. They're going to be grafted back into the nine ether, into what's called the hue, to be natural beings again. You see, I just give you, I just give y'all, I just give it to y'all, man. I mean, I have a whole lot more in the book, but I'm just giving y'all snippets of what's coming. Okay, so that's going to be the new race. So no matter what y'all do, you can't fight into racial relationships. It's going to happen whether you like it or not, because they have to be grafted back into you, even if you have people that's going to fight it. Okay. And trust me, these people, they know who their children are. So even if you, as the American Aborigines, don't do it, guess what? They know who their children are, so they're going to do it anyway, because they know how they grafted them to become the sixth ether or the pale race. They know how they did it. Okay, it was done to Jacob. Who you think Jacob is? Jacob. I just showed you the. That's why I showed you the lexicon. That's Jacob. So they have to graft their children back into man, or back into the human race, which is HUEM, not HUMAN. It's HUEMAN. They got to be hue again to be natural, because they're not natural. Okay, and I'm talking about flesh wise, not mental wise, because mental wise, you'll realize that after at some point it was only people talking about organic this and organic that. Please, that's just a new name. I grew up eating organic food. We didn't call it organic. That was just way of life for us in the islands. So that was just natural to me. Like, oh, what you mean organic? I grew up eating that. What are you talking about? But it was organic to them. See what I'm saying? So mentally, it had to change their mindset. So it had to start from a spiritual thing first. So it's not necessarily about the body per se. It's a mental thing, the Christ, so to speak, which has nothing to do with the flesh. All right. But if they want to preserve their physical temple, then they have to be grafted back into human. H-U-E-M-A-N. Meaning that if they want to sustain the physical experience, because things are going to change. Okay. So, all right. Well, I hope y'all got some knowledge from all of this. And I promise, okay, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to get into another series of knowledge. I'm going to just leave it right here. So y'all get some rest. I have to be, literally, I have to be, what is it, 4:24 already? Wow. I have to be up in an hour. So I'm going to just shut it down for like about half an hour. Get a quick nap. All right. So I love y'all, man. And we'll talk later. Appreciate each and every one of you. Take care.